Alrighty, good evening, everybody. Hopefully this stream goes okay. OBS decided to have a update, and stupid me, after waking up from a nap, was like, okay, and it updated and it looks different and weird. However, my plugin for the Stream Deck no longer seems to work. So I have to do everything manually, like, where's my camera? Here. Okay. Hello, everybody. So instead of using this wonderful thing, which is very nice, and you just hit buttons, I have to do everything manually in OBS. I guess until either they fix it or all I can see online is, hey, try completely uninstalling OBS and Stream Deck and reinstalling, and that'll probably not work, but you can try it. Hello, ready to further disappoint Kim? Yes, we are. How's it going, Dog Nozzle? Welcome. All right. Let me click here. And okay. All right. I think that's good. That should be muted. Those are muted. Okay. All right. I think we might be okay. All right. Let us just load right in here. Okay. Oh, where the heck did we leave off last time? Well, the very last thing we did last time, I remember, was we found a dead body on the boardwalk on the other side of Martinez, near the coast. And we had to reveal that information to their loved one. And it was a very nice, sad, but very well done a moment where we had to break the news and kind of deal with just breaking the news of a death to someone. No jokes or anything there. Very good moment. Let's see. Oh yeah. Okay, so we're on this side of Martinez, so we can sort of just start out. Let us get a little more information. We have our badge now, which we can use the lights of Kim's motor carriage here to get some more information from.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
All right, Kim, how do I turn on the headlights?
All right, ready? I turn, you press start. It's next to the preheater.
All right, let's press engine start.
The dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds per minute gauge jumps, and the engine of the Caprice Canadian comes to life with a whiny growl. Like a leopard waking from its sleep, yawning and roaring at the same time.
All right, let's hit those headlights.
The lights unfold with a little click, casting electrical light onto the ground before the vehicle.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
All right, let's close the door. and head to the front of the motor carriage.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears. A street grid and the veins of a great river. A familiar sensation washes over you.
Let's see. That thing where the seemingly throwaway conversation with the lady turns into the super tragic scene that we saw at the end of last stream was just great. Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I remember just like, oh, no. Like, when I first played the game, just like, oh, man, we're doing this. I thought we were just joking before, but yeah, no. Nope.
There she is. Revachol West.
There's a note of pride in the lieutenant's voice.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens, no, hundreds of micro-perforations.
Let's look at the shimmering street grid.
The rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major arteries of Revachol are all recognizable. They shimmer in the Kanema's headlights.
Let's see, where are we on this?
Let me see.
He takes the ledger for a moment and inspects it.
Right here.
He says, his finger near the top of the map on a segment of coast jutting into the great ocean. Seems nice.
No, it does not.
The lieutenant says without optimism. As garbage as this area of the world apparently is, I don't mind it. The whirling in rags is not a bad place to stay, and you got a Freet right next door. Yeah, sure, it's kind of chock full of racists, but you don't have to talk to them. Although that guy, there is that guy who refuses to share sandwiches, so that's not cool. But it's not a horrible place for a place that was kind of destroyed during a revolution. All right, let's look at the perforations.
There are many of them, and they are divided into 3 separate rows.
All right, let's tally up the different rows.
The first row has 18 dots.
Not bad.
Not bad for what? You don't even know what it means yet.
Hey, come on, Ledger. What about the next one?
The next is the longest. It runs all the way around the border, and then some.
Let's count them individually.
There are so many, it's hard to count. More than 150, at least. Maybe even 200.
What about the last row?
The last row has 3 perforations. As you look at them, you feel your index finger reflexively contract 3 times.
Now the ledger itself is dunking on us. I know, no one will just leave us alone, man. All right, let's see. Seems like something I've done before.
And something you'll do again before this is all over.
Hey, Kim, what do all these holes mean?
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have guessed you'd keep a record. Officers often do. Let's take a look.
Son, here is where we score your life performance. You better hope it's good.
Oh man, I hope it's good. Or else physical instruments gonna kick our ass, I think.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered?
Let's see. Got drunk like a megastar?
Yes, that does seem quite likely.
That's right, it
Your
does.
youth coincided with some heady days for Revachol. But let's move on, shall we? This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Closed is good. It means finished. You've got, let's see.
It's very nice of Kim to explain what closed means in regards to closed cases. We didn't have to ask, and If we had the option, we would.
Wow, more than 200.
Whoa. Is that a lot?
It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers.
See, Kim? I told you I was a superstar cop.
Call it what you want. You were a valuable member of your precinct. Now, let's look at the last row.
That's right, we're a regular Dick Mullen here.
You know the answer already. The tingle in your index finger gave it away.
Oh, those are my confirmed kills. 3 of them.
That's right. How did you know?
Because I felt a twitch in my index finger.
Ah, right. Sometimes the brain's able to preserve certain responses even when conscious memory has been, let's say, misplaced. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, which is in the Jamrock Quarter, it's rather tame. I mean that in a good way. There are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve a case, it's usually by accident.
It's obvious the lieutenant doesn't think very highly of these officers.
But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for.
He's sincerely glad you're not a scary predator. Not to say relieved you're competent.
Oh, all right. Have you ever killed anyone, Kim?
Yes.
He says, declining to elaborate. So how do you handle the strain?
Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective or self-destructive than others.
He gives you a meaningful look.
Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies.
Ah, like tip-top racing, Kim?
Par exemple.
The lieutenant nods. Maybe I should find a hobby.
Why not take up a sport? You've already got that fan gear.
He gestures toward your performance gear. Oh. Maybe I should pour one out for the boys, the fallen? Oh, Kim.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you.
All right. Let's we got plenty of booze on us. Let's pour one out on the ground ceremonially.
A dark pool of cheap wine appears at your feet. It shimmers in the lights of the Kanema. Honorably done. You have given up some of your own blood for theirs.
Let's see. Yeah, I will make it okay with the power of rock and roll.
Very noble of you. Are we done here?
Okay, thanks for this.
The lieutenant nods.
Okay, let's go.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
He presses a remote control on the key. All right. Well, we do have, let's see, what do I want to put a point into? Well, I guess we got to do Electro, since we're getting pretty close with, oh, and savoir-faire is higher than Electro. Electro should be the highest for our superstar, party cop, so we'll put a point into there. Let's see. Okay, yeah, the stuffed bird. We'll pay a short visit to Gart here. Let's see. There we go.
Can I help you?
Hey, Gart, I found a new bird for the whirling.
What is this thing?
The man takes the stuffed bird. Hey, it's no biggie. I just thought it would look nice on the wall. I'm that kind of cop.
What, the interior decorating kind?
Yes?
You know, I'm sorry. This is actually a nice bird. A competent piece of taxidermy.
Yeah, see, Gart was just so taken aback. He didn't expect this from us.
I can fix it to the plaque and have a new bird in the establishment, I guess. So, I don't know. Thank you. I'm gonna go with thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel good about our work here today. It's all about the little things, like bringing people random stuffed animals.
Yeah, see, you're getting it. You're getting it, Kim. All right, goodbye, Gart. Let's see. I wonder, while we're over here, 8 hours must have passed, because we did do a night of sleeping also. We might be able to pick up our dice, from the dice maker, while we're, right here. Let's, try to remember how to go up there. Yeah, upstairs. Oh, that's right. It's too dark for us to walk there. Let's get our flashlight going.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
I came back to pick up my die.
Very good. That will be 7 real for one custom die.
All right, here you go.
One universal die for Wirral Untethered.
The dice maker opens her desk drawer and hands you a die. Let's look at it.
It feels icy. Just holding this die in your hand sends a jolt of cold down your spine. Through the dark resin, you can make out a nugget of bone hewn from an alligator's jaw.
All right, let's get out of here. Yeah. Keep going down there, Harry. And yeah, this way. And up the stairs. Okay, and just while we're over here, I don't know if we have the option to throw this body in the refrigerator yet.
The man is decomposing visibly now.
Oh no.
Every hour, he looks less like a creature and more like a pile of intestines.
Oh no.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
I don't like that. We don't have the refrigerator option in this game, which means Kim would be gone for the rest of the day. I don't like that.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Come back later, Corporal. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori features.
Maybe I can talk to Kim.
Yes.
Let's see. Wasn't sure if electrochemistry would like that, but he respects the sacrifice, I guess. Yeah. Very polite of electrochemistry, I suppose. Weird we can operate without Kim for the day. Yes. Actually, well, I guess I'll leave that for when it actually happens, but I might, maybe we'll see if we can have him come back and take it away like towards the end of the day. It is interesting. I have never seen this. Just we're letting like the body is actually gradually decomposing on the ground, which I have not seen before. I know my first playthrough I ended up sending Kim away for a day, and I wasn't a fan of that. And then I've seen other, like after I played it, like somebody else who I watched on a stream was able to get the option to throw it into that bear refrigerator. But we seem to not have that option. All right, so I guess we'll try coming back at night and see if Kim will just be gone for a couple hours or something.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Okay, can we reconstruct the movement now? Plus a 1. Found sunken motor carriage.
No.
No.
These tracks are not interesting at all. Let the street sweeper just sweep them away.
Guess not. Yeah. I'm hoping, like, you know, Kim will be back the the very next morning, which would be nice. Yeah, let's move Electro up one other, so that's in the lead there. Okay. All right. So let us head back to the other side of the. Oh, actually, no. Before we do that, we do have our badge. So we should be able to get some information from Joyce now. We didn't solve the drug trade issue, but we got our badge.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
I found my badge, by the way.
By love, you did.
She inspects the piece of blue plastic, her eyes scanning from left to right.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. The situation is precarious. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
How about you share your information on the lynching?
Yes.
Now that you've seen his badge.
Yes, please.
The goalposts have moved, Lieutenant. In the absence of the badge, I have informed my employer there will be a probe. I cannot rescind that promise. To my knowledge, the drivers are still at the roundabout. I will tell you everything I know when you've finished with them.
Ah, this was your plan all along.
My plan is to share information. The only way to do that now is by telling my employers you've kept your end, which I hope you will, because let me tell you, we are in dire waters.
How bad can the info she has be?
The sooner the probe is finished, the sooner I can share crucial information with you. Now, is there anything I can do for you in the meanwhile? Tea, perhaps?
Well, I spoke with the lorry men at the roundabout.
On the contrary, officer. There are yet camionneurs you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, it would be strange if Wild Pines didn't have eyes on the harbor.
Okay.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects.
I guess while we're here, I got some more questions about reality.
More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Oh, okay. We do have this impossible conceptualization check. What is reach for something fundamental? And we have a 72% chance, plus 12, because we completed the jamais vu thought. Let's try it.
A strange coldness comes over you as you look at the world. The waves sway the sloop slowly. That's all.
Darn.
The doubt is fully formed in your head. The alien feeling persists. Yet something's still missing. You have finished mulling over the jamais vu thought, but your conceptualization skills are not nuanced enough to make sense of it.
All right, well, maybe we should throw something into conceptualization for next time. For fun, we have a legendary Esprit de Corps. What is, think of something close to you, 28%. Plus 1 RCM authority comes from Coalition. Plus 1 RCM uses unjacketed ammo. And plus 1 RCM Kim debrief done.
It remains a mystery what you mean by this something close. This isn't about you. It's about reality.
Well, we're kind of off to a bad start here with our rolls. Almost forgot about Joyce. Yeah, it's been a while since we talked to her. Striking out today. I know. Terrible start. Anyways, Joyce, what are you?
What I am not is a basic term of reality.
She smiles.
Everyone wants to talk about themselves. She will, in time.
What is this?
A bird? A sphenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Keep guessing.
Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
What? Really?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I meant, what is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two.
She looks around. What is Rue de Saint-Ghislain 33A?
A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
Oh. She looks up at the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, Cindy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye, her red paintbrush held to her throat.
You could be wrong, but from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat in a soaring motion.
That's right.
Wonderful.
What is that? Pointing at Cindy the Skull.
The girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, and now explain the same thing, but to a child.
Young people who dye their hair funny colors and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right, what next?
Infraculture, like a subculture, but even more obscure and inward-looking. Yes. What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
Her eyes light up. There's a flash of teeth.
The smile of a predator. No doubt what she's got in mind.
You've got a predatory streak.
All men are predators, dear. Nothing much to be done about that. It's all a matter of where you get to file your teeth.
So, what's the big time?
The revolution.
She says. Ha! And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
So, who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists and the anarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
All right, well, since we're communists in this playthrough, sounds like they should have shot more people in the head then.
This does not represent the official RCM opinion.
The lieutenant says from behind his notes.
Don't worry. Krasmazov shot 15 million people in the head. But that was all the way over in Grad.
Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
It sounds like a cowardly king to me.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
So who got the mineral rights?
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything.
How did the liberals win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
If everyone got shot, who was there to surrender to?
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
And who were the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
The real king just calmly stepped down and joined the venture capitalist firm. Yeah. Oh, you know. Why not, I guess. This game's world building is so good. I agree. It's pretty amazing. I love it. I cannot wait for like a sequel or, just like a different titled game, in this world, perhaps elsewhere. Regardless, if we, play as a Harry Dubois again or someone else. They've done such a good job of just building this whole world, even though we're just in this small part of Martinez. Moralist?
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government.
The rulers of Revachol, and also the world. These guys are strong.
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
Oh. Shit, really? I like this option. If always picking the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am, and also not. I don't think I'm a moralist, ma'am.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work.
Rooty tooty, pointy shooty.
All right. I think the finger pistols thing must be a Superstar Cop thing, because I never got a single finger pistol thing in my first playthrough. All right, a Rudy Tooty pointy shooty.
That's the way of history.
She nods. When was this kerfuffle?
The turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end, nearly the whole world had gotten involved.
Who started it?
It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
Let's see. What did this Tzaroth do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Wow, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
What happened in the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-estellary communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
It's been like this for how long, exactly?
43 years. Hard to fathom, I know.
What have we been doing all that time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was
Oh.
a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She curtsies.
Welcome to reality, baby.
All right, so we're in reality. What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
What would we have done differently? All right, well, we're going full commie here. I would have killed more. 400 million, if that's what it took.
The cold runs down your spine as you say the words, like a small electric charge that seeks grounding.
I see. A tenth of humanity. The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
Let's see. At any cost, until humanity is free and the age of capital is past.
The wind stops, and for a moment, there's silence. The cold dissipates into your parietal lobe, like a dissolved bullet. All is quiet on the Martinez Inlet. A dog barks. A gunshot echoes off the walls of some distant building. A woman's voice.
Capital is past.
Past? That's what De Briever, the leader of the Communards, said, before she got a bullet in her head. Don't get me wrong.
There's a sadness in her voice.
Capital is finished. But understand this. Its end won't free anyone. It will only lead to more suffering.
Yeah, I can get that. You know, in our world, I think we're long past any anything completely freeing anyone or completely bettering anyone. Not to say there is no room for improvement. Of course, there always is, but you know, Like the ideologies in this game. There's nothing perfect because humanity is, of course, imperfect. Let's see. I love how some things in this world history are just like the real worlds, but with some details change around. Oh yeah, for sure. Wait, Shiver said capital is past and Joyce heard that? No, she heard us, because we said at any cost until humanity is free and the age of capital is past. So she heard us say it, and then we heard Shivers reiterate it.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
All right, Kim, calm down.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
Oh, called out.
There is curiosity there that goes unnoticed. Kim takes a step back, absent-mindedly.
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
She nods. All right, that's enough about the times.
They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Okay, so we'll definitely try to come back for these locked options, because there is something else very important about this world.
Glad to have been of assistance.
That we have not had a chance to learn from Joyce yet. But I guess if we don't, we will, spoilers, learn about it once we get to the church. All right, let's head to the other side, towards the coast, if I can remember how to get down there. All right, we're back on the road. Oh, you know what? While we're up here, what did we need to put in here to get this info from the racist lorry driver?
Looking for something?
Half-light, okay. All right, let's put a point into half-light.
Looking for something?
All right, make him tell you what he knows. Formidable half-light check, 92%, +2 Kim's bluff, +1 saw you snooping in the cabin. All right, will this be our first past check of the stream?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear.
All right, let's go.
Time to turn up the volume.
Show me her lorry right fucking now. The lady driver's lorry, where is it?
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Let's see. I'm gonna fuck you for the rest of my life, you understand?
Fucking homo cop.
A globule of sweat gathers at his brow.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably. I haven't even seen her for days.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Where exactly is her lorry?
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now leave me the fuck alone, okay?
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into that lorry.
All right, we're going. Okay, that's interesting. That's the first time I was able to get that info from the racist lorry driver. I remember my first playthrough, and I think the other streams I watched after that all involved kind of forcing this guy to give us the information, and then he kind of was no longer a fan of us. So all right, this looks like a green lorry right here. It's about time. Half-Light and Physical Instrument were made to put this guy in his place. That's correct. It is about time.
This green found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins looming overhead. It's seen better days.
This must be the one he told us about, unless he was lying.
The lieutenant peeks inside. All right, let's try to peek in the window.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out the shape of the seat and 2 steering levers. Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on them.
Oh, wait. I forgot to turn that on. All right, there we go. All right, let's try the door handle.
The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced. There's no pick in this lock. The owner has put special care into it. It's a recessed design.
How are we gonna get this open, Kim?
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside.
Oh, good idea.
I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
All right. Oh, yeah, we should probably equip the pry bar. Yeah, put it in, all right, let's yeah, get that flashlight out of the way. Sure, why not? All right,
this
here we go.
This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain.
Smash the window open.
In the shadow of the ruins. With a firm grip, you raise the pry bar. A glint of light catching on the tip. Call down the hammer of truth and justice. Release your secrets, lorry cabin.
All right, let's say it. Fuck the police! And then smash it.
The window shatters, and droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement.
Subtle.
Says the lieutenant and sticks his hand in the window like a common car thief and then opens it.
The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is plastered with old movie posters. Actresses smile from the walls. There's a radio transmitter in the front and a toolbox tucked under the driver's seat. Some tools lie scattered near the pedals. There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be.
All right, but first let's admire the posters.
These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens, even the 90s of the last century. One of them particularly catches your eye, a centerfold of an ingenue attached right above the back seat. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air of the cabin.
All right, let's stop and wonder, what's that smell?
The remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably Grenade number 5.
All right, let's study the centerfold.
The actress is draped in a sheath dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded remains of an autograph run across the poster. She's looking past the camera. Wait, doesn't she resemble someone you know? But you can't put your finger on whom exactly.
All right, enough of the posters.
The actresses and the rear actor all smile you a warm goodbye. A radio transmitter is attached to the dashboard and a toolbox sits under the driver's seat.
All right, let's check out that radio.
Looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed, likely by the missing lady driver.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
Oh, okay. We can do a callback to when we accidentally heard Kim's favorite radio station. What about the Speed Freaks FM? Is that one of the save stations here?
No, that's on 78.9.
He stops, coughing awkwardly. Let's raise our eyebrows at him.
What? I happen to have committed the frequency to memory. I have no problem admitting that.
All right, Kim, okay. Why would anyone need so many radio stations?
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation. With quite a range too.
A 20-kilometer radius at least. Perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Is there anything we can do with the radio?
Doesn't look like it. It's completely inoperable without a dial key.
All right, what else is here?
The ghostly actresses, and the rusty toolbox under the driver's seat, and the oddly bulging seat cover.
All right, let's check the pedals.
You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here, a hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty wrench, have been casually thrown there by the disorganized driver. But one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper has been glued to the throttle.
Why would anyone glue a piece of sandpaper to the gas pedal?
Sandpaper? A novel technique. Must be to offer some extra grip to the driver's foot.
All right, let's back on up.
The movie stars are still smiling.
All right.
There's
Let's
something strange about the passenger seat.
Yeah, we know.
The radio transmitter
Let's peel
sits
off the
on
cover
center
on the
console,
passenger seat.
And voila, a stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depicting a large metropolitan area. It's Revachol. Some of its routes and highways have been outlined with a pen.
Bonne prise.
The lieutenant commends you as you shift through the treasure, well worn and folded into neat squares. Let's fold open the topmost map.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over Jamrock, and this person knows them all. There, hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the mass of brown and red roofs that is Jamrock. The commuters don't even look down. The world ceases to exist outside the windshield.
Oh, where does the road lead?
To Couron, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road.
All right, let's fold open the second map.
This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital, right adjacent to the 41st precinct. Wind rips through the empty hallways of the once great military hospital, now just a ruin under an overgrown park. Beneath the hospital, great sewer tunnels hum and vibrate with life of their own.
Oh, what is that sound?
The rattle of motor carriages and lorries driving through long-forgotten tunnels, lit by gaslights.
All right, let's look at the third map.
The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of Motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen, where the tunnels and sewers surface near the eminent domain and a traffic island in central Jamrock by the lake. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction of the foundation beneath the motorway.
So, what does all this mean?
It means that the smugglers are secretly using the motorway to transport their goods and materials. They've infiltrated the East Motor Tract, most likely. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary roads, though apparently not all of them.
Where does the contraband end up?
Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti behind it.
Besmerti? That sounds vaguely familiar.
The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes, but really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names like La Puta Madre and Aura Masta, it's a dark parody.
So, who do you think is behind this?
It's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. There have been attempts at a serious investigation before, but they haven't ended well for those involved.
Especially bad news for cops who may have something in their past they don't even know is there.
All right, let's return the stack of papers under the seat.
Best not to disturb the scene. I'll have forensics go over the lorry and pick this up later.
Cool names like stuff that would wake up Nightbot. Exactly.
The stack of maps looks just like before, barely noticeable.
All right, let's pull out the toolbox.
Silently, a metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for a folded newspaper.
All right, let's take out the newspaper.
It's an issue of Peri-Ferik from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from its pages.
Let's pick up the note.
It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency system. These formulas look oddly painful. Maybe it's the hangover, but they give you a headache.
Nice. Okay. Foreshadowing. I like it.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
His thought trails off. Alright, let's push in the pull-out toolbox.
Pull out toolbox
And get out of here.
Close the rusty old lorry door.
Great. I think we got everything. A word, detective? Before we return to Joyce?
Alright, sure thing, Kim. Let's talk to you.
Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we found, so we don't do it in front of the company rep.
Alright, seems like something police would do. What do you think of all this, Kim?
Honestly, I'm quite worried by what we've seen so far. The evidence seems to point to a rather extensive and well-organized operation. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade casts a wide net. I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may hold some significance. Perhaps it's a better way to connect between fleets while avoiding frequency bleed, or maybe it's used to tap into RCM networks.
Listening in on your calls between you and your station, a worrying prospect.
Yeah, really, Half-Light.
Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal the geographical extent of the operation. Looks like they've used abandoned tunnels and access roads to stay hidden. This is useful info.
What about the movie posters? How do they factor into all this?
As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade.
Don't be fooled. Desire always plays a role.
Good point, electrochemistry. Could the film industry be involved?
I'm going to say no.
How do you think this is connected to the Union?
We didn't find anything conclusive linking them to the smuggling operation. But somehow, I doubt that Evrard Clare would be oblivious to something like this happening right under his nose. My suggestion is, we use it against the Union in any way we can, to our own ends. It's a slippery hill, but we just might be able to pin them down, indirectly, down the road.
In short, this is a future angle. Possibly a good one.
All right. Will the RCM open an investigation into this?
We should return to the murder case. See what Joyce tells us about the lynching. When we are done for the day, I call my station and suggest our narcotics department look into it. There are more than enough grounds to start an official investigation. Sometime later, when we're done here. We do not want to get caught in that.
He stops to think. What are you thinking?
The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they aren't. It's certainly worrisome.
Corruption?
All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs descending on the matter. That won't help anyone either.
Okay, debrief over.
Debrief over. After you.
All right, let's go chat with Joyce, see what info she has for us, and then we'll head to the other side of Martinez and continue our exploration near the coast. Oh, I wanted to read that OBS. Let's see. Yeah, I get what Kim is saying here. If we're supposed to be investigating a grubby little neighborhood murder, stumbling onto a big drug distro conspiracy isn't necessarily helpful. He mentioned that the RCM does actually patrol the smuggling routes, yet hadn't shut down the operation, like you said, worrying. Oh, for sure. And that's actually something I didn't get in my first playthrough, finding those maps. I did not get access to those maps at all. I don't remember what gave us that, maybe perception.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Basically, we just got the basic stuff with like the radio stuff and like, oh yeah. I don't know, drugs? All right, I spoke with the lorrymen at the roundabout.
Yes, my eyes on the harbor have sent word to that effect. What have you discovered?
Wait, where exactly are these eyes located?
It doesn't really matter, and I do apologize for the surveillance. Wild Pines can't afford to be blind at a time like this. In any case, it's a relief to know someone has looked into it. If I may ask, will there be an official investigation? I assume you discovered there is an operation.
The lieutenant is about to interject. Cut him off. This decision should be yours.
Oh, well, we won't cut off the lieutenant here. Let's let the lieutenant handle it.
If there is an investigation, it will be part of an ongoing operation, subject to confidentiality. I am sure you understand.
Plus, I'm still mad at authority. I'm not completely into listening to him.
Of course, detectives. In any case, you've held up your end of our arrangement. I trust you with the rest. Now it's my turn.
All right.
I wouldn't normally break protocol like this, but the situation demands it. If you don't solve this murder, I'm afraid we may have a bloodbath on our hands.
The words bloodbath sound cold in her mouth. They taste of iron and strawberries.
What was that about a bloodbath?
Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, this is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be.
All right, tell me again, how are the lynching and the strike connected?
I have an indirect role to play, I'm sad to say. My employer experienced a momentary lapse of faith in me. In that moment, they elected to deploy a private military contractor as an insurance measure. They called it my security detail.
Do you need a security detail?
Absolutely not. These mercenaries are muscle, pure and simple. They are meant to intimidate the Union into surrendering.
Who are they, exactly?
Crenell, an Oranese military company. As far as I know, 3 arrived in Martinez. They report to me sporadically, but they do not answer to me. To be frank, our relationship is deteriorating. They wear ceramic armor, have semi-automatic weapons, and years of combat experience. They also have trauma and stressor disorder, and no idea how to conduct themselves in an urban civilian environment.
So, what happened?
The story is, one of them, the Colonel, I don't know his real name, sexually assaulted a local woman while he was drunk and separated from his unit. This allowed some of the more militant Union members to subdue him. He was taken out behind the whirling in rags and lynched last Sunday night.
What then?
Nothing. Mr. Clare refuses to let me into the harbour. I have not been able to discuss this matter with anyone there. The remaining 2 Crenell contractors carry out their orders, for now.
For now?
It's a smokescreen. In secret, they are conducting an independent military tribunal into the lynching. Once this investigation is concluded, executions will follow.
What is the nature of this so-called investigation?
Whether to execute one, some, or all of the Union militants.
Yep.
It'll be all of them. The decision is already made.
Half-Light, you have never been more correct than right now. I have to say, this is not very disco.
It is very far from disco. My only hope is that you provide a single, concrete suspect before the mercenaries indiscriminately pick theirs. Simply put,
She grabs hold of the mainsail.
if you don't pin this on someone good and do it fast, they will identify and execute everyone present at the lynching. This in turn will force the Union to respond.
They would have to project strength and power.
The Debardeurs have over 2,000 men. It will be 1,000 to 1.
Have you ever seen a Hornet invade a beehive, Lieutenant? It's not pretty. These men work in tandem using semi- and fully automatic firearms. Their armor is virtually impenetrable to muzzle-loaded weapons, even yours. Most Union workers don't have guns at all.
The muzzle loaders need to be reloaded after every 1 or 2 shots. The automatics every 1 or 2 minutes.
As I said, a bloodbath.
Maybe a good bloodletting is just what Martinez needs.
All right, Half-Light, you said something smart before, but see, Kim, this is the great bloodletting I've been telling you about.
It appears you found it, yes. And I'm not happy for you.
Let's see. Isn't this a pretty bleak scenario you're describing?
Many bleak scenarios have already come true, Lieutenant W. Frater Dubois. All we can do is keep the rest from going the same way. One single concrete suspect delivered into civil court, and I may be able to defuse this situation.
All right. Okay, I see the scenario that's being set up here, but we still don't know who shot the guy. Not to sound like Alex Jones, but I smell a false flag. Well, it's complicated. I just want to come right out and say what's going on here, but I won't, obviously. I won't. Let's see, you said the deceased assaulted a woman?
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it.
Who did the passing on then?
The remaining contractors. Their tribunal. It's what they believe.
What did these teenagers by the canal say?
That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the Colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him.
All right, I know the woman you're talking about. We have it under control.
Good. Then you've made progress. It's imperative that you move fast. The tribunal will not be patient.
Let's see, I'm enjoying the speculating. Oh, for sure. It's very fun. This colonel, the one who was hanged, did you know him?
If you mean did I see him alive? Yes. But I did not know him.
His name was...
Lely. His service name. A nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one.
Tell me about the others first.
One is a man. Corty, they call him. A nickname as well. The other a woman. Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
There's a pang of regret in her voice.
That's all right, ma'am. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
Indeed. This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own.
And that seems to corroborate the ethnicity we gave.
The lieutenant is pedantically happy about it. Where are the remaining 2 mercs now?
They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol. You should show those meatheads exactly how savage you really are.
Oh, geez. All right. Vigilantes, the RCM gets its authority from the Coalition. Where does theirs come from?
Somehow, I doubt that lecturing them on the legitimate use of force will persuade them to stand down.
Well, we still need to know where they are.
You're likely to run into them eventually. When that happens, I'll be in a better position to mediate if I don't appear involved.
All right, okay, we have a red check here. Where are these mercenaries? 72% chance, +1 sent by the Pines, +1 clothes didn't fit right, and +1 scab leader built like a brick.
One is obviously the scab leader.
It is.
At the harbor gates. The one chanting the idiotic slogans. He's barely maintaining his disguise. The other has a vantage point in a building south of the roundabout. They were keeping tabs on you while you were canvassing the lorry drivers.
All right. All right, one must be the goon in ill-fitting work clothes by the harbor gates, the scab leader.
That may be so. I still hope you heed my advice. There's no need to kick the hornet's nest.
For all your talk of averting this catastrophe, the situation at the gate is a powder keg. Does this not bother you?
Of course it bothers me, Lieutenant. But my hands are tied. How would my employer react if it appeared I were intervening on behalf of the Union?
Your concern may be appearances. Ours is keeping the peace.
All right, and one is probably in a building overlooking the roundabout.
That would afford a good vantage point. In any case, it's practically inaccessible.
Where is your radio for contacting them, if I may ask? Do you have an earpiece?
Heavens no. I'm not an undercover agent. There's a shortwave at the ship's wheel.
She nods towards the sloop's cabin. All right, I had another question.
I hope I can answer it better.
And how much time do we have?
Until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative.
There is a brief silence. Seagulls squawk over the bay.
It's a matter of days, not weeks.
All right, that's enough for now.
I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Now, can you tell me about these tattoos?
Of course. Excuse my hesitation before.
She reaches over the guard wire and takes the photo, holds it in her hand.
For about half a minute, in silence. She wears fingerless gloves. Her fingernails are cut short and fractured, like those of a working woman.
It was taken with a trigette not long ago. This is the man's upper body. There were no more markings on his hands or legs.
All right, let's stay quiet and observe the woman's expression.
Her mouth is relaxed. The accordion lines near her mouth vanish. The pearls of her eyes move slowly on the photo's surface.
So, what do you think?
Sorry. I was trying to see if I can read the web of interdependencies between these points. The stars.
She points to one on the photo paper.
I can't. But that's how you read this story. The points themselves don't have letters, numbers, anything. Their size, location on the body, and distance from each other tells you what they represent.
Like vias on a microcircuit?
Close. Port cities. This is an Oronese map of the waterways, a sailor's tattoo worn by wayfarers of the Dolorian century. Over 300 years ago, the sailors would mark their bodies to map their travels.
What is the use of this map?
The sailor's soul would use it to fly back home if they should die abroad. This is a sort of contraption to be reeled back in by. The silver cord, they would call it.
What travels did the dead man make?
Quite a few. Vredefort, the Oronese capital, traditionally stands on the right shoulder. He started somewhere near here, I think.
What next?
Then he made his way to the Pretto Grande, through what I think must be the Stutz Canal, an artificial channel through the Occident. From the Pretto, he sailed to the Insulindic Ocean, first the Semines Islands, then this.
She points to his heart. Oh, what is that?
Revachol. Those are the two constants. Vredefort on the shoulder, and Revachol in the heart. They started the tradition of these maps right after the discovery of Insulinde, at the dawn of the Interinsulary Age.
You said you can't read it.
I can't. This man was no sailor, and these are no ports. I can understand geographic fragments, but not their meaning.
Let's see. Joyce is trying to act like she is not in control of the mercenaries. They just happen to be working for the same employer. But consider me skeptical. All right. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Who could tell me more?
His platoon members? The other contractors. Though I do not suggest you go and show them that picture. This man was their friend and comrade.
Challenge accepted. I say we do it.
Oh no. Well, I've never done it before, but I am thinking maybe it's still not a good idea. Although I am very curious as to what would happen if we did ask the mercs about the tattoos. But we'll keep going. You're right, not a good idea.
I am relieved you think so. I don't think deciphering that tattoo should come before public security.
All right, that's all for the tattoos. Thanks for your help.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
That's all for now. Okay, let's see. Do we have any... All right, so... All right, our perception is there. Hand-eye coordination is there. Let's raise perception up one. I think that might be something we needed for that window by the Hardy Boys. But for now, let us head to the other side, near the coast. Our most problematic skills really want us to go take on the mercenaries head on. I know. I'm a bit nervous about wanting to do that, so we're not gonna do that. All right, what do we have here? Someone has broken down the fence and the barbed wire. The swing is missing. No one's been here for a long time. All right. Oh, we got a thought. The wind is corralled by the 4-story buildings around this yard. And what do we have here? 1 real and 20 cents. Sounds good to me. Glory, says the graffito, to the ghosts of us. Someone has left their music collection beneath the tarpaulin. All right, we got a tape for the smallest church in Saint Saëns. Oh, there's our thought again. Birds in the birch tree, barely audible cuckoos come from above. And I do believe we have our song for karaoke. Okay. All right, let's head back this way. Cinder blocks charred a makeshift fire pit with magazines for lighting. Oh, what do we have in here? All right, inter-easillary trousers, +1 to Kingdom of Conscience. All right, magnesium and 45 cents. Since we got perception up 1, let me check inside our little house here real quick. All right, yeah, doesn't seem like we have the floorboard thing.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of it.
All right. Weird. Okay. All right. And let me do one more check with this kid. We haven't...
Hello, mister.
Okay.
Bye.
I don't know how we can get access to this thing I want to get, which is like right here, I believe. All right, well, let's head on down this way. Apparently we're stuck. The beams are splintered. The bridge didn't collapse on its own. Artillery broke it. Tiny cages carefully constructed. The soggy logs smell of ignition fluid. Still, they won't light up. It's almost impossible to get a fire going this near the ocean. And is this the thing? A buoy bobs in the water. The number on it says 11. All right, let's talk to this gentleman right here.
Here we go. Nice and easy. No way out, little guys. Not out of this jam.
There's a cylinder on the ground in which the man is arranging some netting. It looks like some kind of trap. He notices you.
Who's there? Oh, the police. Hello, officers.
Is that the police? Why are the police here?
Don't worry, Gary. I'll handle it.
You must be Moral, the cryptozoologist.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Lena sent me. She's been really worried about you and is waiting for you to get back.
Of course. Thank you for passing along the message. That damn waterlock is broken, and we can't go all the way around the A81.
Yeah, that was me. I broke the water lock with my motor carriage, but it's fixed now. You can go back.
You broke the waterlock with a motor carriage?
Sure did.
There was a billboard in the canal. Not a vehicle. It said Samaran Butter.
I guess you're right. It was really the sign's fault. Anyway, you can go back now.
Did he say we can go back now?
Yes, Gary. We can go soon. If you see Lena, tell her I won't be long.
Sir, your wife is waiting for you.
I just have to do one more round. See if the phasmid has taken the bait. Then we're going.
He refastens a bit of netting that has come loose in the wind. All right, before we get into it, I'm just gonna take a quick restroom break. And then we'll really get into this stuff with Moral here. Especially since we are really into cryptids in this game. All right, so I'll be right back in like 30 seconds or so. There we are. Alrighty, we are back. Let's see, we found him. Glad to be getting back to the subplot. My theory during the last conversation with Lena is that she was the real cryptozoologist and never mind the husband. But we'll see if I was on the right track now. Ah, but what about Gary, the crypto-fascist? Perhaps he's the real one in charge. No, he's not. Tell me about this phasmid you're looking for.
Well, first of all, it's damn difficult to find, which is why we've been knee-deep in the reeds laying traps for it.
What makes it so difficult to find?
Good question. Being a phasmid of the order Phantasmodea, a ghost insect, it disguises itself as plant matter. In this case, the reeds. Awful lot of reeds around, aren't there?
There sure are.
And I suspect it may have also developed other specialised techniques to protect itself from predators, or scientists, in our present case.
What sorts of specialized techniques is the phasmid using to hide itself?
It's my hypothesis that it has evolved certain electrochemical defences that allow it to interfere with animal perception, impeding pattern recognition, confusing the visual cortex. But I cannot describe how these defences work, much less how they evolved, without studying a live specimen.
How big is this phasmid?
I'm expecting it to be quite giant. One known species of phasmid, called the Megaphasmodea zoensis, is about the size of a grown man's forearm. So,
He leaves the conclusion up to you.
Seems puny, to be honest.
Okay, physical instrument. Calm down. Why are you so interested in this stick bug? It doesn't seem to be as colorful as some of the other cryptids I've heard about.
typical rookie assumption.
Hey.
Insects are much more sophisticated creatures than those unversed in zoology give them credit for. Even simply catching a glimpse of the Insulindian phasmid would be the apex of my, of any, cryptozoologist's career. But to study it and its defences, find out how it stayed hidden so long.
He shakes his head.
Would be glory itself.
All right, what have you discovered so far?
Very little, I'm sorry to say. No one's ever captured a specimen, so all our information is based on first and third-hand accounts.
So no one's ever found one?
Not yet. That's what makes it a cryptid.
Just out of curiosity, if there's no proof of its existence, how do you know it's real?
I know it's real.
The cryptozoologist says, brusquely enough that even he seems taken aback by it.
By which I mean, I've heard enough first-hand accounts to believe quite firmly that the Insulindian phasmid is more than mere superstition.
Lena said there's been a sighting of it here in Martinez.
Yes, the most recent sighting was by a couple of teenagers along the coast here. That's what brought us to Martinez specifically. It's the first credible sighting in several decades. Admittedly, it's an unusual location for this species, but with all the sewage runoff upstream, it probably doesn't matter much anymore.
Maybe the Insulindian phasmid has died out?
I have to resist the thought. Such an extraordinary creature is doubtlessly highly resilient. After all, it's generally thought to be capable of parthenogenesis.
Nice failure from Encyclopedia there. Parthenogenesis?
Yes. The females don't need males to reproduce. Makes it easier for a species to survive in adverse conditions.
Hey, that's pretty clever.
Yes, the Insulindian phasmid is a very clever insect. That's why it's so damn difficult to catch. But as a scientist, I'll try my best to remain dispassionate.
Tell me more about these traps.
Well, they may not look impressive, but Lena designed them quite cleverly, so I'm sure they'll do the trick.
Oh, Lena designed the traps?
Yes.
He says with some pride.
More than some, he admires this about her.
How did the traps work?
Simple. Attracted by the locusts, the phasmid crawls down the funnel and, having eaten its fill, can't get back out. At least, that's the intention. The net isn't a perfect solution, but we didn't want to use anything that might damage the specimen's delicate exoskeleton.
What are you using as bait?
Locusts. Nearly all known phasmids are herbivores, of course. But we've hypothesized that the Insulindian phasmid might occasionally prey on other insects.
Inside the traps, a number of locusts crawl and tumble over one another in a tiny, chittering swarm.
What will you do if these traps don't work?
They'll work, I assure you. The predatory hypothesis, using locusts as bait, accounts for the failure of previous efforts by other teams, which use plants. We have given this some thought.
The traps do seem to be deftly and thoughtfully constructed. It's clear the cryptozoologist's wife knows what she's doing.
All right, let me ask you something else.
Yes. What?
Lena seems pretty eager for you to return.
And I'm eager to return to her, I assure you. But I can't leave before we finish with these traps. My wife understands that just as well as anyone.
He looks south where Lena would be.
Come on, Morale. We've been soaking out here for days. It's time to go back.
And leave the traps? Absolutely not. I won't let Lena down.
Come on, she wants us back. I'm soaked up to my nuts over here. We'll both catch reed crabs if we don't dry out soon.
I didn't know the phasmid was so important to Lena.
Of course it's important to her. She's seen it. A verified sighting, on record. One of only 4 this century, and it's hers.
She's seen it?
Really? She sighted the phasmid? She didn't tell me that.
Yes. That's how we first came to know one another, in fact. But that's her story to tell, not mine.
He coughs, then continues.
Suffice to say, it's long been our dream to find proof of the Insulindian phasmid together. I can't abandon course now.
Another cough into his fist this time. Maybe you could go back to the whirling, warm up, and come back to check the traps later?
No, no, no. The traps need to be monitored on a regular schedule. What would we do if the phasmid were to starve while we were sipping tea at the hostel?
He's dead set on this. I could go for some trap setting.
Yeah, what if we check the traps for you?
I didn't expect you to take such an interest in our work here, officer.
I'm all in with this cryptid shit. I'm hooked.
Caught the bug, I see. It's easier to get caught up in the search than you'd imagine.
Let's see. I can't decide yet if these two's relationship is very sweet or extremely weird. Why not both? Let's see. What do I do if there's a phasmid in one of the traps?
Bring it to me at once. Just make sure the trap is closed tight.
He's not comfortable with the possibility that you'll claim the find, but he's lying about this even to himself.
And what if I encounter the phasmid in the wild?
That's highly unlikely, officer. But in the event you do, I'll spray you with a pheromone mixture I developed.
Did you hear that? Pheromones. You were right about the teenagers.
Oh boy. So it really was the phasmid that made the teenagers make out.
Oh, I doubt there is any connection there. Anyway, these pheromones will attract the insect to you, or at least prevent it from bolting at the sight of you. It's quite potent. Should last you about a week.
Lay it on me. Thick. He douses you with the odd-smelling spray, a double helping as you present your other armpit, and then gives you a satisfied nod.
This is the smell of dying reeds, of longing crumbling into the water.
I hope you're not buying this. He dispenses it without letting you touch the canister, so it would be precious like holy water.
It is precious. A single dose cost me 50 real to develop. Not that I expect you to understand self-financing one's own research.
He looks at the lieutenant with disdain, then puts the spray back in his pocket. So, where are these traps?
There are 4 in total. One is to the south, on this little peninsula, by the boathouses there. It's very near. Another we set in Land's End, to the northeast. It's behind a small sand dune there, on your way to the old radio tower, after the church. The third is set near the canal, where you crossed, by a concrete slab. A big thicket of reeds going up the slope, and among them...
He gestures to the trap in front of him.
You should check at least one of those before returning to this one, since I just said it. This one's more of a technicality, but still, better safe and stupid than sorry.
Be careful where you tread in the reeds. Some less conscientious researchers may have left their traps out there, armed, hidden.
All right, I'm ready. Let's get to it.
Right, which means you two can pack up and go back to the whirling.
Finally, someone's talking sense.
Thank you for your help. Gary and I will start breaking down camp. If you have any more questions, now's the time to ask. We'll be gone once you get to it.
What about his eager-to-leave friend Gary there? Talk to him too, perhaps.
All right, we'll get going there. Hey, Gary.
Hello, I'm Gary. Very generous of you to help us out, officer. Yellow man. I mean, officer.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
The lieutenant raises his eyebrows slightly and takes out his notebook. Yellow man. That sounds awfully familiar. Something to keep in mind for later.
I'm just waiting for my friend Morel to finish up with his insect traps so we can return to civilization.
Not a lover of the great outdoors?
I like nature, just not this bloody coast. It's mostly drunks and degenerates that come here.
Drunks and degenerates, that's my crew.
Dark times will do that to good men.
He nods gravely, then shifts his gaze to the pile of soggy logs at his feet.
Serious question time. This man is no innocent. No one is.
So, is this your mug?
My mug? Why would you think that?
Let's see. Well, you said that. That's not something many people go around saying.
Really? I hear it all the time. All in jest, of course. No offense meant to anyone.
Alright, still seems suspicious. Did I mention the mug was found at the scene of a lynching?
Okay, I admit it. I threw the mug away in the trash container behind the hostel. I know I shouldn't have, and I am very sorry, officer.
He pauses.
You're not going to find me, are you?
I would, but I don't know how. Hey, Kim, how do I find someone?
Using a standard form, officer.
The lieutenant pulls out a sheet of carbon copy paper, scribbles something on it, then tears out the bottom page and hands it to Gary.
It's 50 real. You're getting off easy. In return, we expect information. You have questions to answer, sir.
What did you do, Gary?
Yeah, Gary, what did you do?
Nothing. Nothing. Just answering some questions. Helping out the law.
Here we go. Start pumping that sweet info.
How did you get into the trash container?
I know a guy who works with the trash collection services. CS Municipal. He gave me a master key for the trash containers of Martinez.
Why would you need to get into everyone's trash?
so I can use the Whirling's trash compactor to store my own stuff. Garbage disposal is expensive as hell. The damn Hemians run it like a mob. I'm sorry, okay? I thought I could cut costs. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have disgraced myself.
Disgraced? No need for the histrionic, sir. It was, after all, just a trash container.
He studies his reaction. Gary doesn't answer.
Gary, did you put the clothes of a murder victim, the man who was hanged behind the whirling in rags, into the trash container?
Officer, please. Let me explain. It's not like that.
Do.
I was only cleaning up. I live right across the yard from where he was hanged, and I saw him stripped naked. All the clothes lying around in the yard, smelling. People are animals, you know?
Okay, then what happened?
Then I came out to clean up the rags because no one else would. I put them into the Whirling's trash, along with a broken mug, admittedly.
He changes his mind mid-sentence.
Okay. I was coming to throw the mug away, and, well, I threw the mug there and the clothes too.
Right. It was just civic duty.
The lieutenant remarks drolly.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. Civic duty.
As he shifts uncomfortably, a series of clicks, like the clinking of glass beads against one another as they roll across a hardwood floor. You've heard this sound before, but where?
You wouldn't know anything about the victim's missing armor, would you?
Armor? No. I mean, yes. Of course. I know he was wearing armor, but I don't know anything about it.
An infant could see he's not telling the truth, but he's too scared to admit more wrongdoing.
So, what's that strange sound then?
What sound?
That clinking I just heard when you moved.
Really?
He fans his arms out slowly, and this time his motions are soundless.
There's lots of weird stuff out here in the reeds, though. Insects, trash. Could be the wind shifting some garbage nearby.
Every day, the wind shifts the reeds and whatever was left in them. Tambourines and condom wrappers, plastic and glass bottles. The smell of decay. The sound you heard was not the sound of something easily abandoned.
All right, let's move on for now.
I hope I could help your investigation, in my small way.
He's visibly relieved it's over.
Don't be so relieved yet, Gary. This bad cop may have been in your apartment, admiring your mug collection. Perhaps a little intimidation?
All right, we do have a legendary composure check there. Let's see, do you know anything about the man hanged behind the whirling in rags?
I told you everything I know, sir. I'm truly sorry for the mug, but I have nothing to do with that.
He shifts uncomfortably in his clothes.
Uncomfortable shifting around doesn't make him the killer, though. It's something else.
All right, well, you were surprised to see my colleague, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
Not many Sealites here, or anywhere, other than Sale. I meant no offense, truly.
Do you remember how, when we met Measurehead and I said the next races will be a really good one?
Yes.
Well, this is that racist.
Oh no, I like the previous racists better. No. Are you Gary? Are you a racist?
Hey, man. All I meant was there are not many Sealites around here. I'm just stating a fact.
Do you have a problem with Sealites?
No. No problem at all.
He flashes an impenetrable smile at the lieutenant. So we figured out whose apartment that was, the one with the weird barbarian paperbacks. Yep, the weasel, according to Everart. Okay, incredible callback. That was like 4 weeks ago at this point. Yes, so long ago. So Gary, you live nearby in an apartment in Martinez?
Sure do, officer.
His eyes narrow slightly. He's wondering where this is going.
And you're a big Man from Heimdall fan?
How?
The color drains from his face. Oh, well, all right. I guess we're locked in here. Well, calling ourselves a Heimdall fan seems to be a racist thing, so we'll probably avoid that. We did read the one book. Not as good as the Dick Mullen book. I think Dick Mullen is our series. Yeah, I saw that ridiculous poster in your apartment along with all your other colonialist memorabilia.
But why were you in my apartment, officer?
Just doing Mr. Clare a small favor.
So you work for Everard Clare? Officer, please tell him we're good. No, tell him I'll make it up to him. What have I done? He'll send the muscle after me.
The man looks around whispering. He makes sure no one hears you talk. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know what it was, but he doesn't like you.
I was probably talking too loud in the whirling the other night. About some theories. Stupid. Shouldn't have run my mouth loud like that. I won't do it again. If there's anything I can do to assist you, or the Union, just ask, okay? I'll try to help if I can.
This scared him proper. He's positively melting from fear. Has to prop himself up with a lot of anger to keep it together.
The weather vane has turned. He cannot be unturned.
He clearly liked his squirming. He may even have changed his mind about the whole door-opening operation.
All right, let's see here. Okay, we're up to 72%, +1 clinking sound, +2 scared him with apartment, +1 want to wear armor, yes we do, and +1 thinking about the armor. We're always thinking about the armor, just like we're always thinking about cryptids. All right, why is he shifting around like that? Let's analyze Gary's composure.
That shirt looks very uncomfortable on him. Look at the buttons, barely keeping that thing together, as if something is ready to rip out from underneath.
His massive musculature?
No, he's scrawny. Try again.
Something worn underneath it.
Yes, like a piece of ceramic armor, for example. One that makes a clicking sound when the plates meet each other, resembling pearls or marbles, stolen from the corpse in the yard near where he lives.
Ah, I see you're a connoisseur of high-quality combat gear, Gary.
I knew you'd figure it out, officer. I'm sorry I didn't tell you at once.
He unbuttons the shirt.
I was ashamed of what I did. And I didn't want you to know.
You see gleaming white ceramic shine underneath. A thin layer of interlocking plates covers his gaunt torso.
We're not detecting falsehoods, sire. He's gearing up to admit the truth.
Gary, what's going on?
Oh, Morel is just, he just wants to know what's going on here. Let's see, we're due for a good dice roll there. Yep, we finally got one.
Later, Morale. I've got apologizing to do.
That's right, you do.
No, you've got explaining to do.
The lieutenant's tone is icy. Yeah, why did you really put those clothes in the trash?
Everyone was picking those pieces off him, and I was watching them do it. And they'd scattered his clothes all over the yard. Everything was smelling.
He looks at his feet.
So I went there to take out the trash and started cleaning up. All those rags on the ground, him swinging up there, and I had a lapse of honor, sir. I thought, he's a foreigner. They all say he wasn't from here. Only the cuirass was left, so I stripped it off him. It was early in the morning. No one saw me. I took it with me. It was a mistake. Had I known it'd give you guys trouble, I wouldn't have... Fuck.
It's okay. It was a loose end, and you are tying it up now.
I'm so fucking sorry I called you Yellow Man. Sealite officers commanded the suzerain's navy. Most of them sided with the king when...
He shakes his head. All right, you know what, Gary? Give me that armor. Now.
He sighs again, hangs his head, and unbuttons his shirt fully. A cuirass that matches the dead man's boots comes into view. Soon it is in your hands, smelling of his sweat. But so light to hold, like a bag of cotton.
All right. We got more armor. Why did you lie to me, Gary?
Because I was weak. I should have told you the moment I saw you, but...
The hell, Gary? You in trouble?
I'll explain later.
He doesn't muster up the strength to yell. So, do you know who killed the hangman?
I always thought it was the Union, but I sure as hell won't go around saying that anymore. You have my word. I don't know, and I won't be running my mouth on this subject anymore.
This is all he knows.
All right, are we done here, Gary?
Yes, absolutely. I will never do anything like this again. I won't mess with Mr. Clare either. You have my word.
All right, thank you for your cooperation. All right, let's take a look at our new armor. The vitreous enamel cuirass fits snugly and redistributes kinetic energy across its countless white plates. Amazingly, it fits under your coat. And it also makes pretty porcelain sounds when shaken. All right, +1 pain threshold, thicker skin, +1 volition, borrowed confidence, -1 empathy, mania of invulnerability. All right, so we'll just put that on. We're gearing up. Compiling all of the armor that we can. We got the chest piece of the armor. That's like the main part. Score. Yeah, we got it. I know where another piece is, but we can't seem to get access to it, which I'm a little sad about. All right, what do we have up here? Bars cover these long, dusty windows. All right, 127 there. Another power box. It charges nothing now. It's empty. Hey, 525. We'll take that. And some Nosafed. Perfect. The fence blocks the path. No way on from here. All right, let's talk to these two.
And Mikhail noticed the windows, especially with how there are no windows on the south side. This was to deal with.
A blonde man stands next to his son, pointing to the weather-worn ruins. He sees you approaching and smiles. Let's see, I'd expected there to be more to Gary, but I guess he was just an easily intimidated little man. Might have been a little more if we didn't do some things prior, or maybe did some other options, or failed more.
You officers, come to investigate the historic subtext of West Martinez? I'm Tran Heilostam. You must be Kim Kituragi, right? I was just telling my son about this building. Not a lot of people realize the historic significance here. Very rich in hypertext.
Nice to meet you.
The lieutenant nods. All right, you and Kim know each other?
No, I can't say that we've met before, but I've heard of Kim, of course. Mikhail, say hi to the officers.
He rests his hands on the boy's shoulders. The child stays hidden behind the hem of his father's coat, clutching to his worm-themed coloring book.
Mikhail's a little tired today. We spent all night trying to run Orbis on his radio computer. Have you heard of it? It's a programming language used in Grad. Quite tricky, but he wanted to play this Grad-made adventure program. We've been getting really into Worms lately.
The man speaks in the artificial cadence of a professor, or someone who's been on too many radio shows.
But I assume you're not here for giant worms when there are so many real things to see. Just as I was telling Mikhail before, this is where the Coalition landed in '08. We could be standing on what is the most interesting landmark in Revachol West.
He points to the building again. Well, before we get any information, this has been a common theme for us, so we'll continue it. You look like someone who has money. Do you have any money?
I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He brushes it off like it's not a thing at all.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? Clearly you were just profiling.
All right, Authority, let's quiet down there. Is this guy like some kind of tech evangelist or something? By the end of the game, we'll find out who this guy actually is. Don't worry. There will be answers. Could I have some of that unimportant money then?
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general terms.
He looks uncomfortable, his left hand squeezing his son's shoulders.
I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be wise to carry huge amounts of cash on such expeditions.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
By the way, do you work out?
I do some Lomantang stick fighting now and then.
Wait, what's Lomanthang stick fighting?
It's an anthropological heritage of the Lomantang people. A martial art of sorts, but what not a lot of books mention is that it also carries a cultural significance among the Lomantangs, as it used to be the best means of showing off to look for a bride, which, interestingly enough, brings us to the socio-economic structure of the traditional rural tribes of the Lomantang Isles, which...
He goes on to give you a detailed overview of their way of life, the amiable, slightly nervous smile not once leaving his face.
But anyway, I'm boring you with details again. You were saying?
I'm not really interested in the practice. I just want to know how often you work out. Now and then, that's what, like once a week?
Lomantang stick fighting is a little like a Berolidin addiction. I've been practicing it for nearly 20 years now, so you could say that my doses have grown a little peculiar.
Wait, what does this man know about Pyrrolidon addiction?
Oh. Hold on, Pyrrolidon addiction? What an interesting metaphor. Study his face, or perhaps not a metaphor at all.
You got me, detective. But my history should hardly come as a surprise.
Here's a former junkie. I can recognize one when I see it.
Okay, Authority.
Dad's fighting with sticks every night after dinner for 4 hours. He has a special room for that, and a special costume.
That's right, Mikhail. It also has a meditative quality. Helps to clear my head. But anyway.
He says, swaying his hand. Alright, what's so fascinating about an empty old building?
Aha! But it's not just any empty old building.
He raises his hand to his eyes, springtime sun warming his handsome face. All four of you turn to admire the mural before you.
What not a lot of people know is, this used to be the R&D department of Felt Electrical. And Felt, which now sells ink cartridges mostly, was once a top dog in the turn-of-the-century cybernetics boom.
Hold on. What's R&D?
Another failure from Encyclopedia. Our silly superstar cop genuinely wants some good workout tips from this guy. Oh, for sure. For sure. Let's see. Let's look at the building looming over us.
It looks old and weathered, with seagulls picking apart its stone and metal carcass. Bushy undergrowth has taken hold of the collapsed rooftop. Some kind of bird has set up a nest on a broken windowsill.
Wait, what's an R&D department?
Apologies, it's an acronym for research and development. They don't use it anymore.
He smiles brightly, laugh lines around his eyes.
You're probably more familiar with RTD, Research and Technological Development.
Mea culpa. You are not familiar with that one either. This man is a bookhead.
A bookhead, huh? I don't think I've ever heard of this Feld Electrical.
That's not surprising. Only a vestigial ink cartridge and ferrotape manufacturer remains.
He adjusts his suit jacket.
They started out as a midway electronics outfit in Königstein 2 centuries ago. After an aggressive move to Revachol, Feld became a global player in the emerging personal electronics market of the pre-revolutionary era. Still, Tricentennial was beating them in business machines. But Feld had an ace up their sleeve. Or should I say, they were developing an ace up their sleeve? I'm mixing my metaphors here.
Oh, okay. What was that ace?
It was here in Martinez, possibly in this very building, that they developed prototypes for a tape computer.
A tape computer?
Mm-hmm. An elegant folding mechanism of rollers and ferrotape ribbons, portable enough to be a take-it-home solution. Revolutionizing business machines, possibly even bring them to the average consumer. Which is a feat of engineering even today's giants, Rehm, ICN and ZAM, haven't achieved yet.
He grins, admiring the sentence he just produced. What happened?
Indeed. What?
The revolution!
The boy wipes his nose on his sleeve.
Unfortunately, their moonshot project never made it to the market. Feld's move to Revachol backfired. The revolutionary government liquefied their assets and expropriated those very advanced prototypes. Possibly from this very building, or one of the adjacent ruins.
He pauses, pointing to the other building, and then continues.
All of this was built by Feld, even the boardwalk. Wild Pines built Martinez proper as a resort for their middle management. Feld built this side of town for R&D.
You're saying that Feld Electrical built this boardwalk?
Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
The lieutenant looks wistfully at the horizon, as if picturing gondolas rising to the sky.
Yes, to lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before Feld arrived. They had to make the prospect of living here attractive. It was supposed to become a global center for innovation in cybernetics. But history had other plans.
What happened to the engineers, the company people?
Oh, I'm afraid it didn't end well for the boys. But this story is a bit too dark for little Mikhail here. Now, if you were to ask about tape computers...
What did the revolutionaries do with those advanced tape computers?
They used them for military communications, but also to write and send out press releases. The most notorious example being Le Décret de Mars.
What was that?
What's the Mars Decree? I mean the radio transmission sent out to news agencies and world governments by the newly created commune of Revachol on the 7th of March in the year 02. It's a beautiful piece of text, actually. A singer-songwriter I know, Charette, called it a love poem to Revachol on her political concept album, Bon Baiser dans ce Lind. You should read it. Every local library in Revachol stocks a copy of the decree. I tried to get Mikhail to memorize it. Tried to. Someone was much too interested in worms to be paying any attention.
The kid takes a peek at the green and silver worm on the cover of the book, already forgetting about this part of the discussion.
How did those tape computers work? Did they work like radio computers?
Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made entirely of tape would look like. But word has it, they were very elegant, exquisite, alien-looking turn-of-the-century hardware.
He raises his finger, remembering something.
10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Womty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje. It raised the same questions, and we had lengthy discussions with Paul Ockerman, who was head curator at the time. This was before the twins Keith and Guy Jews joined the team, trying to...
Wait, did he just say Wumpty Dumpty Dum Center?
He sure did.
He did it. He said, Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, like it's the most natural thing in the world. What the hell is a Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? And who the hell are Keith and Guy Juice?
Yes, what the hell is going on? This is so interesting. A burgeoning tech giant company that got nipped in the bud by the revolution, and only this guy remembers the history. As well as the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center, and Keith and Guy Juiced. Okay, the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? Paul Ackerman? Keith and Guy Juiced? What are you talking about?
The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center for Contemporary Art. The exhibition itself drew on Lagerman's notion of memory, and so there were some parallels. That's why the head curator, Paul Ackerman, chose to...
Alright, you're making this up. Kim, is he making this up?
In fact, I'm not. The Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center is a place you can visit if you're ever in Vredefort and are ever in the market for an exhibition space / contemporary art research center.
He clears his throat.
But perhaps I should return to the tape computers. As I was saying, the device itself was very elegant, fragile even. One could write directly on the tape using a special chemical solution. The machine would then analyze the handwriting, perform operations, and project output onto a white screen. It was a beautiful, delicate thing.
Shh, I've seen cooler things than that.
I certainly haven't. Though I understand the socio-economic causes of the revolution, it pains me to imagine the revolutionaries setting fire to this precious device. But so they did. The failed playback experiment vanished into the fires of '07.
Why did the revolutionaries destroy it?
Who knows? Maybe it was an accident, or maybe they didn't want the technology to end up in the wrong hands. Either way, they're all gone now. All 3 versions of the prototype. Nothing but debris and ashes remain inside that building.
He takes a step back. The boardwalk creaks mournfully in the wind. I wanted to ask something else.
But of course. What else?
All right. Great. Thank you for all the interesting information.
No, thanks to you for having me and little Mikael here to pick your brain. A very interesting conversation indeed.
All right. Let me actually check something here real quick. I want to pull up that little guide to my Superstar Cop thing. There we are, Disco Elysium. Let me scroll down here. Okay, did we get that? Okay, yeah, all right, we have the 2 main thoughts. All right, that is good. All right, let's see, what can we level up here? Yeah, let's throw suggestion up 1. Okay.
The remaining windows rattle from a strong gust of wind. They're covered in a thick layer of grime. They must have been like this for 40 years.
Let's see. Our skills will not let those dumb tech company names pass without commenting. Of course not. I mean, how can you not comment on the Wumpty Dumpty Dom Center? Let's try to see inside.
Dripping water falls from a high place. All you can see is the shadow of a collapsing staircase.
Lieutenant, can you make out what's inside?
No. I won't even try. You know...
He takes his glasses off.
I had a partner once. They called him Eyes, because he had to show me things. It's that bad.
Can you still shoot, though?
Well enough, actually. It's odd how that works. I'm no sharpshooter, but I pass my shooting courses 7 out of 10.
His hands lead the way when it comes to that. And his shoulders. It's reflex.
All right. Well, we'll be back to this building later. But we have another phone down here. Someone must have worked hard to smash the plastic dome.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. You could use it to call someone, unless you're out of change.
Let's pick up the handset.
You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable.
All right, let's put 10 cents in and dial a random number, 005-2403-155.
Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
The voice is female and sounds about 100 years old. Yes, it's me, Pierre.
So nice of you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died.
What kind of pets did you have?
Are you sure you're Pierre?
Uh-oh.
Your voice, it's different. There. Chrysanthemum.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not.
All right, let's try another random number.
Calling. Still calling. Again? Seriously? Someone with a masculine voice picks up.
Hello, Gerard speaking.
Okay. Sorry, wrong number, just sounds boring. Gerard, what a douche name. Change it. Change your name.
What are you, like 5?
A woman's voice shouts something in the background, and when Gerard speaks again, his voice is hushed.
Thanks for calling, asshole.
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
Oh no, Pierre would have known what kind of pet she had. Yeah, I rookie mistake there. Let's try another random number.
Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man.
Someone picks up. The voice on the other end is slightly hysterical.
I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work.
Oh. Well, since we're doing the money thing, yes, but a slight change of plans. I want this delivered to the Whirling and Rags and Martinez.
Tethys. Hey! You're not Tethys. Screw you, and don't ever call here again. You're fucking with some serious people.
Disconnect tone.
Uh-oh. A single lets you know the lieutenant is ready to move now. Well, after another phone call.
Calling.
I'm tired.
A man answers fast this time. His voice is hoarse from cigarettes. You hear typing in the background.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
Yeah, I'm tired too.
If I could go just 1 month without writing, no, 2 months, I could regenerate my brain. Fucking liberalism.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number.
Oh.
Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying.
All right, dial a random number with our eyes closed. We have a 92% chance, +1 for white morning.
You close your
Here we
eyes
go.
and put your index finger on the rotary dial. Then pull down on the number. Then move one up and repeat the motion twice.
Oh, did we accidentally call the writer of Disco Elysium? Maybe. All right. If this is what I think it is, let's go.
Strange. This is not how you started before.
All right, let's keep dialing.
414447. The rotary dial feels cold from the sea air.
Keep dialing.
1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider. Every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling.
There's more?
Yes. 45167451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks.
All right, let's finish it.
451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle. The wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones.
0451 joke? Almost, not quite though. Ah, yeah. Yeah, if we had a 0 there, but we'll count it. Not enough 0451 references, rather.
Calling in the night. Pitiful and terrifying. You feel your pulse rise with each ring. Calling still. Ringing by the bedside of a dark but capacious apartment with long windows. You know this to be true.
We do.
The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy.
Oh, I like this. An impossible volition check to hang up the phone. We're locked in here. Long windows, how do I know that?
You just do. And you know it is going to hurt.
Mm-hmm. Let it call more.
Calling. Calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello?
She sounds sleepy. Oh no. Oh, okay. I was like, oh my god. Did we soft lock there? Hello. She hums, her voice warm from sleep.
Who is this?
All right. Oh, your voice is so beautiful.
No. It's you, isn't it? That's you.
Who is this?
Dora. Who is this? The connection is bad.
Oh.
In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle.
All right, don't react.
It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
All right, I'm a revolutionary servant of humanity. I will free mankind and abolish the classes. I will raise the dead.
You're not a revolutionary, Harry. You're drunk.
Well, we're technically not drunk. I'm not drunk.
Oh, God.
There's silence. It's heavy as tin. The white noise howls. Hey.
Do you know what time it is? It's so late here.
Sounds like she's looking for a clock on the nightstand.
It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours.
Where are you? You sound like you're in another world.
I'm in my rover, sleeping.
Where are you going in 2 hours?
To work.
Where?
The academy, where I work.
The academy? That sounds better than my job. I'm happy.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
All right, we got to get some more morale juice, I think. She's in a whole different time zone. I want to talk about me. Who am I? You sound like you know me.
What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
I am the law. I'm a detective. I'm doing a case. There's a hanged man.
She does not answer anymore.
Let's see. I'm gonna solve it.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money.
All right, what happens if we dial the long phone number once more?
You dial the number again. 26 pulls of the rotary dial. The machine eats the coin, and a terrifying ocean of distance rustles in your ear. In the middle of it, a familiar ring. Small, distorted, calling, calling.
Let it call.
Calling, 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 calling. Calling.
Just let it ring.
Calling. Calling.
Harry, please.
A sad voice answers, dressed in distortion.
Underneath it, she is naked and warm under a blanket.
Let's see. I need to know who you are. Who are you?
Please. I'm going to hang up now, okay?
Phone hanging up. Disconnect tone.
All right, well, we'll leave for now. I think we did a good amount of damage to ourselves by making those phone calls. Just another thing you can completely miss in this game. Okay, yeah, that's where the dead guy was. Let's head over to Land's End. Just vague transmissions of what used to matter to us, I guess. Yeah. For sure. All right, 255. We'll take that. We'll get back to that fun door in a second. This barrel has been recently discarded. It smells of fuel oil. All right, here's our first trap.
There's a trap in the reeds at your feet. Looks like the same one you saw Morel set before. Same mesh, same wiring.
Let's look around.
The reeds sway in the coastal breeze. They seem to be waiting for something. The wind picks up here, near the cape's end, surrounding the narrow strip of land from 3 cardinal directions. It's cold for this time of year.
All right, let's reach for the trap.
Locusts are crawling around in the trap, confused but uneaten. You see no carnivorous reed phasmid gorging on them.
Big surprise. Anyway, 1 down, 3 to go.
Let's see. Damn, I was hoping it would be in the first one.
No, you weren't.
He looks at the sea, then you, laying the trap back down on the ground. All right. Well, we checked the first one. We'll do a little check up here. Cigarette butts cleaned away under a rock. Brand Tiormarutri, or whatever that was. You take a mental note. Blah, blah, blah. Seems important somehow. Yes. Someone's made a campfire here a long time ago. A rusted, broken control box for the radio relay tower. All right, we got a scented scarf, +1 shivers, -2 physical instruments. Tiny inlets there, off in the far distance, where the posts trail toward. The ladder's too rusty to climb. The sea air has eaten away at it. All right. Okay, I wonder if this is the bird. I've never done it before. I think it was something that was added in, where you can throw something at the bird or whatever. But I think you can only do that when Kim's not with you. All right, let's see what we have here. The chain trails off into the ocean to who knows where. These rusty gears used to turn the whole machine.
An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has blown a sand dune in front of it. The door hasn't been opened in a long while. You see a handle.
What is this thing anyway?
It's military. A service depot of some sort.
Used to service what?
Probably something that is no longer there.
The lieutenant looks at the hunching concrete toad in front of him. All right, impossible interfacing check. Open the door. 3%. Impossible.
You rattle the handle a bit, then push on the door with all your weight. It does not budge. Not only is it locked, it's also jammed shut.
Huh, the door's shut tight. How can we get in there?
We don't get in there.
What do you mean? We get into, like, everywhere.
Frankly, you're just going to have to accept the fact that you can't get in through every single door.
I'm not gonna accept this. The door could be part of the investigation.
Relax. No one's hiding in there. If we can't open it, others can't either. And thus they can't get in.
He looks at the door with a rueful smile. All right, so, funny kind of thing about that. Even if you do somehow pass that impossible check, you still can't get it open. This depot was either something that was going to be in the main game, but they had to cut it, or something that was planned to be like a DLC thing, which hasn't happened. I forget which. But they still left the structure here, and they left the kind of like impossible door opening thing as kind of a joke. I know when it first came out, I think people were kind of a little obsessed with this door and trying to get it open, but you can't. The building before you housed the engine. It must have been a big one. All right, and we have the church right here. You feel the shadow of a very large building fall on you. The sign reads St. Brune 1147. Almost had it. Dusty pews in the shadows. Many seem to be missing.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood.
Let's rattle the doors to see if they open.
Nothing happens, only the sound of the padlock rattling against the door.
I don't think that's going to work.
Let's inspect the carpentry.
The carving on the door is block-like and angular, like the church itself. 2 large beams shoot downwards, sinking into the wood before they reach the threshold.
Let's run our hand over a beam.
The surface is smooth from the wind, but moist to the touch.
Let's take a closer look at the padlock.
This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting, somehow.
Let's look at the sticker.
You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead.
Hey, Kim, have you seen this symbol before?
He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No.
What does it look like to you?
Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency.
What is suggestive of junior delinquency here?
I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth.
All right. We have an easy interfacing check to try to peel off the sticker without ripping it.
There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb.
All right, let's put the sticker in our ledger after the last entry, where it belongs.
Looks like today was a gold star day.
Ah, yes. Gold Star Day. All right, let's inspect the staple.
The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least.
If you really think we should get in there, we need to find some other way.
Let's see. Should we start with that kick drum coming from the ice?
Yes, the pulsing bass. An indication of junior delinquency.
All right. Let's see what these delinquents have been up to. Full of holes, could the post hide treasure? Look inside. Ah, alcoholic treasure. Potent Pilsner. Oh wow, these like all have stuff inside them. I don't remember getting that like before. Very cool. We'll just go ahead and take everything. Why not? All right. Yeah. Don't see anything else popping up. The ice here is thick enough to walk on.
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody?
Oh, okay, this is the bird, I think, then. I'm not gonna have a seagull conversation. Kim?
What? Kim? No, it's you.
Me?
You. You and the seagull are just alike.
Why am I like a seagull?
Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons.
All right, that does sound like us.
No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you.
Hold on. Have I ever eaten a burger out of the trash?
You have. The body remembers.
But I'm not like that. I'm still romantic.
Sure, inside. But outside, it's a tough world. You've got to do whatever it takes to survive. And you do. Question is, will you admit that to yourself?
Okay, well, let me reconsider.
Good boy.
I guess I am a little bit like the seagull.
Exactly. The seagull does what it takes, and so do you. You've got that same spirit in you. When the time comes, you push yourself.
All right. Well, I guess we're a little bit like the seagull. All right, let's take a look here. Those are doing all right. Maybe I'll throw hand-eye coordination up one. To your right, a white-bellied cormorant eyes you suspiciously. Must have taken a lot of patience to do this.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks up.
Oh, hello there.
Everyone knows drugs make you invulnerable to cold. You bet this one likes to party.
Well, we are a superstar party cop, so you want to party?
What?
She looks up at you, confused. Let's see. Let's say it louder. She might not have heard you over the wind. Do you want a party?
Yeah, I heard you. What do you mean by party?
Yes. What do you mean?
The lieutenant sounds serious. Oh no. Maybe we should have let Kim go to sleep before we did this. All right, I mean, we get drinks, come back here, sit on the frozen sea ice and drink until we start talking about fucked up emotional stuff. The worst.
You know, that sounds kinda nice.
No, it doesn't. If you were intending to use an unorthodox questioning technique for this branch of the investigation, which by the way is tangential at best, you should have let me in on it. As it stands, I'm going to have to thwart your plan by explaining to the woman that we are police officers.
No, Kim, you're ruining it. How about party officers?
Oh, of course.
She doesn't sound surprised.
Odd. Something about the way she says it makes you think she's not bothered by any of the cop show questioning.
We have some questions for you.
She's waiting.
Oh, what's your name?
Estelle.
Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. There's a coarseness to her features, some masculinity below that timidness.
And your surname?
Why?
Did I not say I was from the police? It's for the paperwork.
Okay, it's Berger.
What's that device you have there?
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Low quality, but still.
And the wires?
Actually, just one wire. I picked on it till the braiding came loose. The wire leads to a contact microphone.
And what's a contact microphone?
A contact mic records sounds from inside things, like this ice.
Nice. You could maybe bug someone with it. Wiretapping.
Ah, good point. Interfacing. Let's see. Where'd you get that mic from?
Same place I got the recorder from. The Elysium.
What's the Elysium?
Oh man. You haven't been to the Elysium? It's the coolest place in this whole drug-addled shithole. It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop on Boogie Street in Jamrock. Musicians live there, like real musicians. I once saw Arno van Eyck.
Sounds interesting. Who is this Arno guy?
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. Or really be a Palaceum going kind of person.
Hey now, I get down.
I don't know what that means.
I grind.
I don't know what that means either.
It means I'm hip beyond my years.
That's cool.
She breathes on her fingers. Looks like she doesn't know what to say. You're right. Time has deserted me.
Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps?
How does that thing work?
The mic? I don't exactly know. Somehow it doesn't pick up vibrations from the air. The book said it only picks up structure-borne sound, if you like technobabble.
Actually, I had some non-mic questions for you.
Okay.
What are you doing out here in the cold?
Recording, I guess.
And what exactly is it you're recording?
I think I'm recording cracks in the ice, but there's no way to tell. Not without headphones. I think I just recorded your footsteps too. Not sure how that will sound.
She scratches her forehead.
What happened to the old headphones?
Wait, what happened to the old headphones?
My boyfriend sold them.
What for?
I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you need for life.
A lie. They were probably pawned off for something suspicious.
And what are these recordings for? The cracks? The footsteps?
The musicians in the Palaceum used them for making music. They looped the stuff, cutting the tapes together. They make music out of cracks in the ice and keys jangling. Crazy sounds like that. It's hard to explain.
We'll just nod.
Anyway, I thought I'd make some too. It's supposed to be, like, a music place anyway.
She rubs her shoulders and looks around.
I don't really know what I'm doing. They use synthesizers too. I don't have a synthesizer.
She is on some kind of stimulant, amphetamine or methadone, and its effects are wearing off fast. She will begin to experience more and more valleys now, and fewer peaks.
Take this, you're cold.
The lieutenant begins to take off his jacket.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that. I'm sorry about the fuck.
It's okay.
Let's see. Alright, let's give her our hat. Here, you need this more than I do.
Thanks.
She puts it on. It's a bit large for her. You said it's supposed to be a music place? Well, what is?
That? The boys think it could be a place, like the Palaceum or something. Stupid. It's really not gonna be a Palaceum, that's for sure.
And who are these boys?
The boys?
Yeah. Andre and the guys. They're inside, in the tent.
Alright, we had some other questions.
Go ahead.
Alright, we have a legendary empathy check. Oh, 3%. But a +1, because we gave her a hat. You seem surprisingly comfortable with being questioned. Why's that?
Well, it's just questioning, right? You're just questioning me. It's what cops do.
Have you been questioned before?
Once or twice, yeah. I'm sorry I haven't had the Revachol experience they get east of the river.
What's east of the river?
Rich people. Rich people are east of the river.
Alright, let's sneer at the rich people. I bet they're really rich. They must be very special people to be so rich.
Oh, they are. And I'm scum.
Hey. No, you're not scum.
Oh, but I am.
So what trouble have you gotten into with the police?
The usual. I had a shitty run as a teenager.
What's the usual?
You know, drinking, getting into fights. The ugly stuff that happens when you move out your parents' place at 13. In Forberg.
Why did you need to move out at such a tender age?
My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
I get that. I'm a major party animal myself. Major.
All right.
She smiles a little without meaning to. All right. Oh.
It's supposed to become like a club for anodic dance music, like that new style of synthesizer stuff they play at the Palaceum. Except that, yeah.
She looks at the old wooden church up on the poles. As a mean wind comes bellowing in, the 6-story structure lets out a doleful shriek.
The floorboards are twisting, and the shooting beams are slowly cracking, like bones. Far east of the Golden Delta, beyond the industrial port, there is a black patch of unlit coast with the smallest creatures on the ice. There will never be a club for anodic music here.
You quiet down, Shivers. We're gonna have an anodic dance club right here at the church.
Not in a million years.
Quiet, Shivers. So you want to turn the church into a club?
I know. It's not my idea. Andre and the boys found the place. It was supposed to be deserted, but now they can't even take it. Hey, you two are cops.
Hey, I don't know where you got that idea.
Come on, man. Don't mess around.
She hesitates.
Maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going on in that church. If you're police, you should look into it, right?
Let's see. All right, I'll talk to him.
They're inside that thing there. Would be cool if you did. Was there something else?
All right, did you put the padlock on the church door?
No.
No?
Not really, no.
So the sticker isn't yours?
It's Noid's.
Wait, is this Noid a friend of yours?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Why did this Noid person put a padlock on the church door?
To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. I'm sorry. It's got the worst weirdos. If you get around to it, ask Andre about them, he'll tell ya.
Should you? Weirdos. Sounds bad somehow.
Oh, Half-Light is scared. What is anodic dance music?
You know, anodic, cathodic, music that's made with electronic instruments.
Electronic instruments? Like what?
Synthesizers and tape consoles. Microcomputers too. Anything that uses electricity, but isn't guitars. Also found sounds, stuff like that.
All right, enough about the church. I got another question.
Go ahead.
All right, we're still 3%. Let's give it a whirl. It's a white check. The tape recorder lies on the ice like a discarded toy. Pick it up.
The device is cold to the touch. An angular Omicron logo adorns the yellow plastic cover. Underneath, you see a reel of tape rolling. You put the device back on the ice.
All right, that's it for now.
Okay, bye.
She turns her attention back to the recording device. All right, before we head in, let's put this bridge down. Little baby shortcut.
A pane of Eternite has been planted into the snow. 2 poles are holding it up. Barely holding it up. It could fall over any minute. A stronger gust of wind might be enough.
All right, let's push it over.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
Okay, all right. What do we got here? More tribalistic markings. This post is covered in little humanoids. A pole screwed into the ice keeps the tent erect. Trash from some unending party. All right. Let me just save since it's been forever. And I do remember from my first playthrough, it likes to crash, or at least it did. going in and out of the tent.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
All right, let's squeeze on in.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for this.
Aw, Kim's too old for this shit.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
He gestures for you to squeeze in. All right, we are ready to party. Smells like sweat and laundry detergent, plus a trace of ether. A pile of nasal sprays, brand name Nosefed Ultra.
You see a youngish man bleaching the tips of his hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Okay, I definitely want to listen to hypnotic dance music now. Of course. We all do. We all want to party.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
All right, let's shake his hand.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire confidence.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
And Egghead. Egg!
The tape player high above his head continues to blast what is probably hypnotic music.
Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers.
Wait, how many music venues have you organized?
We have many in the pipeline, officer.
Why are you here?
You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
Place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
All right. Was there something you wanted? Your friend Estelle said there was a problem with the church.
Ah, so you've met her. Good, good.
He nods.
Yeah, it's a matter of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of Narcomania on the coast.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the church. And I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts!
He angrily spits on a screw, then starts cleaning it.
Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In Revachol.
Strike that! The world!
Damn right, Egghead.
And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts hold up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
Oh, rhetoric popping in. All right. I don't know. I'm a bit of a dopehead myself.
Oh, if it was just like that, it would be fine. But they're also spooky.
What exactly do you mean by spooky?
I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre and a place of spiritual refuge.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse. People just wanna spin tapes without them spooking it up. Place has bad signs. No one can dance like that.
I don't go to clubs or dance clubs or anything myself. Not really my jam. However, if I was to go to one, I think I would go to a totally spooky haunted dance club. It seems slightly more up my alley.
Thank you, Egghead. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting them out. Whatever spooky stuff they're doing, I'm sure it's not what the Ecclesiastes meant their property for.
All right, I'll look into it. Tell me more.
All right, man.
He claps his hands enthusiastically. Estelle told me Noid put the padlock on the door. Why?
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in an hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
All right, I need the key.
Of course. Noid, give the officer the key.
All right.
The speed freak dips into his belt pack and produces a yellow key. He then makes a sudden cool infused move, tossing it in your general direction. All right, reaction speed check. Be the cool cop. Catch the key as it flies towards you. 72% chance. With our luck, this could really go either way. But we want to be the cool cop.
You sense the trajectory of the little piece of metal and plastic. The object makes a small ringing sound as it approaches. Just the tiniest chime to your left.
Let's catch it.
Ka-ching! The key hits your palm. The speed freaks nod to you approvingly.
All right. Well, I guess thanks, man. Play it cool would be what the cool cop does.
The speed freak nods to you. A respectful nod. You proved something here.
Yes, we did. We proved how cool we are. How long have those people been locked in there?
Not long. Like a week, maybe?
He shrugs. How can you be sure they haven't starved to death? Oh, wait, yeah.
I'm super sure they're alive. I mean, come on. I'm at least 90%, maybe 85% sure they're still alive.
All right, 85% is good enough. No one lives forever, baby.
Exactly. That's exactly what we thought.
The cage of the rage! Rough blaze! Egg means the situation is monitored. It's relatively safe. No one has died yet.
All right, other questions?
Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it.
Let's see. This part is providing a workout for our lesser used skills, for sure. Yeah, it was time for us to correctly play the cool cop role. I'm convinced that we're cool, but not convinced that these goofy kids are equally cool. No, we're obviously the coolest. Nobody can be cooler than us here. But, you know, we can be someone for them to look up to in coolness. Who exactly are these people inside the church?
Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses.
Glimpses? Who are these people? Secret agents? Stealth operatives?
Let's see. Better safe than sorry. Anything more you can tell me?
Yes. There's also the machinery. When I first scouted the place, back in February, it was abandoned, empty. Took some time getting the crew together. So about 2 weeks ago, we came here hoping to set the stuff up. Suddenly, there are all these strange machines lying around in there.
One of them has wires running into bowls of water. Wires into water. Never seen anything like it.
Andre, tell him about the feeling. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with us, watching us from the dark.
Oh.
No, the other one. Which other one? I'm not as in tune with my emotions as you are, Egg.
Yeah, what is the other one?
Felt like silence. Awful silence.
But you haven't physically seen anyone?
Not exactly.
Oh,
We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt someone or something eyeing us inside. But that's kinda it.
What was that about something watching you?
Like you aren't alone, you know?
It wasn't quite human, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
Non-human means a predator.
Yeah, Half-Light.
It was this dark shape climbing upside down along the ceiling, like some kind of crab man.
A crab man?
Yeah, you know, the way it was climbing up and around the ceiling, like a crab.
Oh, man.
It was stalking a cell, exhibiting ambush behavior.
Ambush behavior. Crab man.
Crab man! Yeah, totally. I mean, I didn't personally see it. A cell was alone that time, but I believe her. If she comes out running and says there's a crab in there, there's a crab in there.
So he hasn't even been in there lately. Is he afraid?
You should ask her about it, but be nice. Don't tell her you don't believe in the crab.
All right.
Sure. What?
Yeah, that's
As
it for
always,
now.
We'll be right here, waiting patiently for the news. Yeah.
All right, let's ask Estelle about the crab man.
The shaggy-haired girl kneels on the sea ice. She looks up as you approach.
So you talked to my associates, right? Are you going to help us?
Yeah.
With the church, I mean.
I'll help you.
Great. Let us know if there's any progress, will ya? We've been waiting for weeks here.
The others told me you went inside the church. What did you see in there?
Oh, that. You're not going to believe me. There's no point in me telling you.
We'll see. Go ahead and tell me.
Okay. I went in and I saw a woman next to one of those machines there. Noid calls it a mainframe. She was dressed like someone who's been raised by their grandmother, you know, strange old clothes. Had this absent expression, didn't say anything, just stood still.
All right, go on.
And then, you know, right behind her, a man crawled down the wall. Upside down like a crab, down the church wall. I think the woman didn't even know he was there. He was completely silent. He stopped right before he got to the floor, then just hung there like that, looking at me. Right at me. I fucking turned around and walked out. End of story.
Like a crab, you say?
The lieutenant nods. His face is stone. So, what did this crab man look like?
It was too dark. I couldn't tell exactly.
Come on. She obviously could. She already went into detail.
Come on, quit stalling on me. What did he look like?
He looked like a banger, okay? He was all muscular and stuff. Had a mesh tank top. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that only made it scarier in a way.
A crab and a banger?
The lieutenant raises an eyebrow.
Yes, a banger. As in a mess gang member. I know what it sounds like, but that's what I saw.
A gangster crab man? Oh, no, we believe in the crab man. You were wrong. I do believe you.
Why?
Strange things happen.
Okay then. They certainly do around me.
All right, that's it for now. We got a church to check out. Okay, when talking to the boys, I assumed the crab man thing was just a stone fantasy, but I sort of trust Estelle, maybe against my better judgment. Come on. Crab man, crab man, crab man, crab man.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice
All right,
your height,
let's open the
stand
padlock.
shut. The lock turns easily. You hear a click as the shackle pops open.
Let's go.
The lieutenant nods at you. Pull open the doors.
A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church, as though rushing to fill a great vacuum. In the heart of the city,
A strange stillness fills you as you look ahead. You should walk here, not run. More of the forked lightning pattern you saw outside. Let's see what we got over here. This grotesque wooden figure looks half finished. The blackboard is filled with complex equations. They look recent. Something to do with radio frequencies?
In white, silver, and apricot faience, the young mother of humanism stands above you. A crack runs across her body. She is impossibly tall, oval-faced and sad, a dark and radiant majesty. This is her innocence, Dolores Day.
There you go, Encyclopedia. You did a check. You did it.
Cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel.
Well, we're not a moralist, so I guess we won't.
Cold wind seeps in from the crack in the glass. Snowdrifts cover the floorboards at your feet. Above, you feel her multicolored eyes on you, inspecting you.
All right, let's look up.
The woman looks down at you, standing there. She towers among her followers, architects, laymen, courtiers. There is a sad smile on her lips and a glint in her green-blue eye. Of what? Compassion? Remorse?
Let's see. Faience is the term for tin-glazed earthenware made in France from the late 16th century until the end of the 18th century. Oh. I was actually not familiar with that word. Very cool. Thank you. Very, very cool. Late 16th century until the end of the 18th century. Let's see. It's morning.
As that terrible word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X-shaped cross from shoulder to shoulder.
Let's do the same.
Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times as you stand in the apricot-colored light of the window. Above you, the woman still smiles, her distant smile, sundered by the crack in the glass.
This is Dolores Day.
Yes. I wasn't sure before, but this must be the DeLorean Church of Humanity in Martinez. It's called the Small Pinewood Church in some records.
You knew of the place?
It's a minor landmark, not easy to find. Most maps misplace it. It was built not long after Revachol's founding, 300 or so years ago, by first-generation settlers.
What else do you know?
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 Sisters. Only one remains. The rest were burnt in the Revolution or used for building materials. We should be respectful here, although the building appears to be deserted. I do not believe we'll find anything connected to the lynching here. Something else, perhaps?
He looks at the machinery lying around. All right, we have a medium encyclopedia check. How did I know this is the mother of humanism? 42% chance. We'll try.
It's a mystery sprinkled with self-pity and regret. For some reason, unknown to your mind, looking at her delicate eyes makes you feel like you're ready for drowning. All you know is, this is the young mother of humanity, and that you should go. Do something else. Escape her sad, worry-worn look.
A little, not specific spoiler, but we do know, Dolores Day. Even if we failed that encyclopedia check. Visual calculus. Reconstruct the cracked glass, 17%. Well, we'll try it just for fun.
A jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you.
All right.
A ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older woman beneath the younger one. And a text. A light motif below them both.
Okay, very cool. All right. What shattered this mosaic?
Unknown. A motor carriage, a gunshot, Someone falling into it? Or maybe just hooligans looking for something to break?
Who is this older woman?
The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older woman wearing thick-rimmed eyeglasses, holding a golden Reichsapfel in one hand and a scepter in the other. This is the queen her innocence day advised. Above, she herself is whole. Small figures of wise men, common men, worshippers walk up the stairs to stand at her feet. Secret servicemen, farriers, stand in a row guarding her. It must have taken years to produce this work in all its dizzying detail.
The motto, what does it say?
Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. Après la mort, la vie de nouveau. And then, along the left side, Après le monde, la gré. Après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
Lieutenant, this used to say after life, death, after...
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world again. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however.
Why?
It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing.
What is the RCM motto now?
Justice, union, prudence, and force.
I like the yellow one better.
So do I.
All right, let's step back.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
All right, let's turn away. Someone's siphoning electrical currents from outside into this antenna. All right, let's look around before we mess with the devices. What do we have here? A prayer book has been left open. The bowl is filled with water. A live wire runs directly into it. Could these wires work as contact microphones?
The silence in this part of the church, it's almost palpable. All the shifting matter and shuffling of living things is gone. Nothing seems to exist beyond the church anymore. Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent.
Wait, I think I still hear something.
And then it's gone. Almost all of it, but for the faintest of hums. You can hardly hear your own breathing.
All right, let's yell as loud as we can.
Your voice is barely audible. Not a howl, but the softest of whimpers. It's unnerving.
Let's stomp our feet and clap our hands.
You produce a few muffled thumps, after which the silence feels even more total, somehow.
Kim, what's happening?
The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head. Then he leans closer.
Can you hear anything?
Can't hear shit.
I wonder why the church was built with such strange acoustics.
Whatever it is, it's definitely real. Something odd is happening around us.
The lieutenant doesn't reply, but you can sense him tense up next to you.
Let's look up into the bell tower.
The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible, then disappear completely in the darkness of the tower overhead.
What if I don't want to know what's up there? All right, we got a perception sight check, challenging. Try to see beyond the shadows, 83%. Let's go. All right.
It's like there's something moving up there. A shadow has emerged from the tower and it's making its way toward you through all the other shadows.
All right, on the ceiling?
Yes, the darkness makes the ceiling feel infinitely far away. It's climbing down, holding on the beams.
Let's follow the shadow's movements.
It's not a shadow anymore, becoming more substantial as it gets closer. The shape of an animal descends.
Officer, is there something up there?
The lieutenant follows your gaze, attempting to see whatever it is you are seeing.
Oh no, you've lost sight of it. Where did it go? Prepare for an attack.
All right, let's blink.
You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it.
Nailing the rolls towards the end of the session. Yeah, it knows I'm ending soon, so. All right, wait, is this the crab man? Yes. Let's have a little talk with the crab man.
Is that a man? A man made of the same stuff as the carpentry of the building. He is studying you intently. The crab man.
Yes, the crab man. Are you the crab man?
The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady, unreadable gaze, then speaks.
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. You come to the right place.
The right place for what?
Here you could receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of that bottle.
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
Hey, and what was that about, the bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Sheesh.
Yeah, we haven't drank that much lately. Like, oh hell no, run away. Oh god. I'm a policeman. I need to talk to you about police things. I don't know anything about alcohol use.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Way. I could smell the control all the way over here.
Let's see. I'm doing just fine, thank you.
I know it's hard to admit that you got a problem. I was like you once. Couldn't take an honest look into my own heart and see I was in pain.
I have no input where this is going. I got no input from you. It's okay.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Hey, you too, Kim? We're supposed to be party cops here.
Look at these crazies. What is this shit?
Exactly, electrochemistry. Let's see. Who do you think you are? Some crazy guy under the roof? What is this shit?
It doesn't matter who I am, Way. I'm just bringing you the message of the mother's love. She don't want you to hang yourself on your own stubbornness.
His words echo in the cold air of the church.
This is the Church of the Mother of Silence. You are welcome here.
He sways gently on the beams, waiting for you to take it all in. All right, I'm going to ask you again, are you the crab man?
Never known myself to be a crab, but if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it.
Let's see. To be fair, it's really more like a spider.
I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters and beams. It may be that I gotta work on my technique.
What were you before you became a crab man?
I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone.
So many people losing their memory, a certain portent of doom.
Nah, ese, it's not like that. Best thing that could happen to you, losing your memory.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to assert some control over the conversation.
Tiago's my name, but those syllables don't mean much to me these days. A name isn't just your identity, but also, so to speak, your place amongst your fellows, your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore.
Yeah, I don't do names either. Names are out. I don't care what mine is.
That's not quite right, but you're getting somewhere. Any one of us could have been anything else. We are all one who sing the mother's glory.
So what are you doing here?
This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there, a way out into nothingness. This church was built around it for purposes of veneration. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. One of these days, I'll be pure enough to go drink from it directly.
The mother of silence? You mean her?
No. There's a new god in town, and she can be painted or sculpted because she has no limb or even a face. She is the end. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. She saved me, but I couldn't describe her to you. No one can, Holmes, and no one ever will.
His adoration is beyond sexual. This cavity is something that no human form has.
What will happen once you drink from this perforation?
I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of the world before reality began.
I still don't understand what you're doing in the church.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory.
There we go. You should sing for me, the superstar cop.
I ain't from no Marietti, if that's what you're thinking. And the song I sing is silent as the mother.
How did you even find this place, this church?
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there, I realized what the true purpose of the church was. Been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing to me now, eh? It didn't belong to me.
Right, I had other questions.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
You've been here a long time. Do you know why the church was abandoned?
Police raid a while back.
He responds, his voice suddenly flat.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's what's so great about the mother. It lets you forget about everything.
Some ravers want to turn this place into a really cool nightclub.
The ones in the tent outside? Right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably scared of me.
Let's see. Hey, turning this church into a nightclub, I have to say it's a great idea. You should support it.
Absolutely, man.
Hell yeah.
Wouldn't bother me none to have them spin music in here. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Might even be nice to have some company.
Do you know where the other spooker is? Point at the strange machines around you.
Other spooker? Oh, esa viejita es muy estudiosa. Don't know, Holmes.
Wait, so there is another person living in the church, and it's a
No. I just call her viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks we wear.
And you don't know where she is?
That's what I said, Holmes.
How can you not know that when you both live here?
Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests.
So you've got nothing else to tell me? How she looks, what she does, who is she?
I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or...
He shrugs.
Or search through her radio computer.
Okay then, thanks. Alright, that's the crab man. Alright, we got a Mesk Banger silk scarf, +1 pain threshold. A figure drawn in frost on the window depicting a deer. Frost has drawn flowers on the grass, obscuring the view. A cracked pane of glass, colorful. It came from the stained glass window, still has letters on it too. Alright, let's check these couple of things out. Spider has spun its web around the wood-carved pillar. And it looks like we may have some shoes over here. Mesk Bangers, Red Baroques, +1 empathy. And 150 there. Okay. Let's I guess before we end for the night, we'll check out the stuff. A portable Harman Wowshi tape recorder. Let's look at this. 2 decks of reel-to-reel tape spinning on empty. And then...
A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass window. It's turned on and quivering with soft electricity.
Holy moly, Crabman's revelations are a lot to digest. Oh, yeah, and, like, what he was talking about, like the perforation in the world, we could have learned about if we passed some of those checks when we were talking to Joyce. I'll just say what it's called. We're gonna learn about it regardless. Something called the Pale. That's all I'll say. I think that word has come up technically. We just didn't have any context for it.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
He seems cautious around the machine.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case.
Yes, but this machine looks like the one in the doomed commercial area.
It's also quite similar to the one we have down at the station. Must be the same model.
He inspects the machine's framework, careful not to touch anything.
The one you saw earlier was the Ream Civic. This is the Ream Prefect, a model number RC7024, equipped with a Fell mainframe and a Ream-compatible interim printer.
Wait, let me just investigate it.
You see fluorescent play and print buttons on the keyboard. A hatch connected to the central compartment is wide open. The lieutenant says nothing. You see the machine's glowing frame reflected back from his diamond-shaped glasses. You're free to proceed.
Let's look inside the compartment.
Behind the hatch sits a cube-like crisscross of filaments, smoldering in the dark like fireflies. Silver tape on the side says, in black marker, log, February to March. This is the machine's filament memory. Press play to access its contents.
Let's press play.
The speaker comes to life. Static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. An old lady greets you. Her voice sounds 100 years old.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Yvonne, it's me again. How are ya?
Good, thank you. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
Let's see. I looked inside the core, but the tape on the filament just said log, February to March.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer. Maybe he knows something.
The lieutenant nods towards Tiago. A password? I'm really bad at passwords. Can you give me a hint?
No.
All right. I don't know the password.
Received. I will register this login attempt. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
All right. Well, we're finished with this call for now.
Sleep well, votre accident.
She says as her voice disappears into a whirl of static.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
What happens if we print?
Nothing happens.
Oh, okay. All right, let's check with Tiago here. See if our crab friend knows the password.
Oh, hey, Wei. There's coffee in the back. Oh, wait. I meant the mother's love.
We sequence broke just a bit by breaking into the doomed commercial area, I guess. Yeah, like, I don't know if it's actually sequence breaking, even, like, I don't know. There's so much in this that you can do out of order or in any order. It's pretty wild. Recently this stream picked up or just happened to find the thing that we can do karaoke with later, and my first playthrough I didn't even find that until like towards the end of the game.
Coffee in the back. Something familiar about that. Coffee and stale cookies.
Have you by any chance heard the whatever say the password to her radio computer?
Too many times, essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety.
I'm doing a survey of passwords and passcodes identifying regional trends in the interest of public safety, of course.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife death. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity La Nilita Pequeña when I hear it.
What was that about coffee? I feel like I've heard it somewhere before.
Look, man. I'm at liberty to talk about the sacred blaze of the mother's glorious heart, but not about the coffee.
Okay then, thanks.
I think we're done here, essay.
The figure crawls off into the darkness above.
That was an interesting conversation. However, I'm still not sure how it's relevant to our investigation.
Don't worry, Kim. Everything we do is relevant to the investigation. As the body continues turning into nothing but a pile of goop in the yard that it's laying in.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play and print buttons.
I am kind of tempted to just leave the body out there so we can just completely ruin this investigation, I guess. Because I had no idea that was a possibility. All right, let's press play.
The speaker comes to life.
Yep.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian.
All right. Yeah, let's try this again. I think I have the right password.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Afterlife death.
Good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print to access the filament. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
That's all.
Sleep well, votre accident.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated, revealing fluorescent play.
The coffee is sacred. I get it. Yes. Sacred, delicious sacred coffee. Let's press print.
The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's journal.
Let's read it.
The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an unknown author, is short and concise. Arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get the electricity in. The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading, he looks up, muttering under his breath.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while.
Do you think this log might be connected to the case?
Our case? No, I don't think so. It must be some local eccentric.
All right, let's read the second entry.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place, that the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out the electricity. See? Even one of the spookers themselves says it's unnerving.
Okay.
What was that about narcotics? This could prove to be interesting.
Wait, narcotics?
I doubt that we can find any. It's just idle fishermen's gossip to scare away the kids.
He looks at the stained glass window.
Nothing spooky about this place either. It's just abandoned and cold, and in an awful part of town.
Then why doth the lieutenant protest against spending time here so often?
Exactly, drama. Exactly. Read the third entry.
7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking Esca series, something advanced.
Why would she need an antenna?
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
He steps on a wire running on the ground, inspecting it with his boot. All right, fourth entry.
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna, had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock band again. Lexi has been seen asking money from strangers. But at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, though, they're fucked.
Oh boy.
I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
A data loss?
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough about them to understand what the author is saying. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. Let's just keep reading.
Artists, programmers, Lexi. Who are all these people?
I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
The programmers, they'll be okay. Spare a thought for the poor writers, though. A shame. Yeah, I think we should have had an option to pour out another drink for the writers. All right, fifth entry.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to see the Martinez people again. Everything's now set up in the church. Going to start working tomorrow, 8 a.m.
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
See, we finally got Kim into it. All right, sixth entry.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some mics.
Is she talking about?
The lieutenant looks to the right towards the silence. All right, 7th entry.
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real, and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence, with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it could be connected to the data loss that led me here.
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
But what could it be?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the basins. The water shines in them. No ripples.
Okay, 8th entry.
March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my work. That disco man must be a cell.
Yeah, she must be describing a cell.
A girl on the ice? Sounds like her, yes.
All right, 9th entry.
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
That's me. I was the one who broke into that radio computer, and the storekeeper must be Plaisance.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with the machine.
Know that one.
No. It was a great idea.
It was.
You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines.
All right, 10th entry.
March 51. A new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles, crackers, ping energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum. Also, some canned air. Your reading is interrupted by the sound of the church door opening.
Uh-oh.
A strange woman makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
She glares at you as she holds down the off button for several seconds. The machine reboots.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a master circuit bender.
Oh, we are a master circuit bender.
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
I can assure you, I'm an expert circuit bender. I'm not breaking into your computer. I'm using it to access coalition military data links.
There are no coalition military data links. And even if there was, you couldn't access them over a civilian network.
Yes, I could. I am a cybernetic god. I'm using your REM prefect to Commander Coalition Warship Archer. I will turn its cannons against its masters.
That's nonsense. You're just a police officer.
She barely looks up from the keyboard. You hear the machine whir back to life.
Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed anything.
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
All right. Let me hit the save here. And I think that's where we'll end it tonight. Next time we got there's a lot of stuff to do with the church. I can't wait to really get into it, of what's going on with the Swallow. there's some stuff. There's some stuff. And also, most importantly, we need to turn this into an Anodic dance club for our party friends outside. Oh no, Suna is 17 steps ahead of us here. Yeah. Unfortunately. But we will see what info we can get from Suna. And see how we can help her out. I mean, our plan here is for us all to work together. Us, Suna, the Crabman, and our dance friends, our electronic music friends. We're gonna turn this place into the biggest club in the world, as well as figure out the mysteries of this church and all kinds of other stuff. I know before the night ends in this game, I do want to make sure, which we'll do next time, to do the karaoke back at Whirling in Rags. Gart is really looking forward to that. We don't want to let him down. Oh no, I have so many questions. It's okay though, it can wait until Sunday. Yeah, I know. I could just sit here for, well, days, I guess, to finish this game. But alas, I can't. But yeah, yeah, Sunday we'll be back with more of this. And it'll be a good time. Tomorrow, we got probably the end of Resident Evil 8 Village. I don't think we'll probably finish soon enough to start another game. But assuming we do finish it, then Saturday we'll be starting Song of Horror, an indie puzzly survival horror kind of thing. I don't remember if combat at all was like involved in that, but I know lots of deaths are. That's one I played for about an hour when it first came out. Didn't get very far into it. I think I just finished like the first chapter or whatever. But I do want to play the whole thing. So that's what we'll be doing after Village. Yeah, so that's it for today. Thanks everybody who popped in to hang out, and yeah, we'll see everybody next time. So yeah, everybody have a good evening or morning, as it is technically for me. That was super fun. Thanks. No problem, Dog Nozzle. Always appreciate it. All right, I'll see everybody later. Have a good night.